Austin Marathon. I am partial commentator all around the country for the last 50 years, Tony Revis.
Hi, Paris. Nice to be with you for the 10th straight year.
Yes, fantastic. We have an amazing lineup of excellent fields, both on the men's and women's side. And obviously, this is High Five's 10th year of the Austin Marathon, the Ascension Seton Austin Marathon. It's the 35th version of this race.
Well, just like so many races around the country, the Austin Marathon has joined the crowd of this second wave running boom. 30,000 competitors in the 5K half marathon and marathon today, 7,000 more than last year, which is an extraordinary jump. And leading the way is our defending champion, Bradley McAvery from Zimbabwe, who comes in off a second place finish at the Miami Marathon just a couple of weeks ago, just like he did last year. But we have a former two-time champion in the field, and Joey Whalen out of Buffalo, New York. And Joey's been running on the treadmill because it's been so cold and snowy in upstate New York. And Kellen Taylor leads our women's field as Janet Runo, our defending champion, did not get the visa to come defend her title.
And we have, on the men's side, we have quite an interesting development. Yesterday, William Stoyanek showed up to the race. He's a former U18 world champion. He was second in the Prefontaine 10K. For those watching at home, it's one of the fastest 10K in the world. In 2016, we don't know what he's going to bring to the table today, but he's a wild card. He's never run a marathon, and if he shows up with the talent that he has, I mean, this is probably the best runner that's ever been on the streets of Austin.
Right. I mean, exactly. A world junior champion, world youth bronze medalist. I mean, this guy's got world-class talent, but he's never run a marathon. He just literally showed up in town and asked somebody, can you help me get me in the race? And he says he's in somewhere between 2.8 and 2:10 shape, yet he's never run a marathon. We will see, because there's people he will have to contend with. Alicia Barno from Kenya, who's a 5-time Grandma's Marathon champion in Duluth, a 3-time Twin Cities Marathon champion, 2 times an LA Marathon champion. Now, the guy's 41 years of age, but this guy is just a professional marathon runner who does not make mistakes and can still run very fast times even at that age. And then his partner, Bernard Rotich, is also in the hunt. So expect a very tight men's pack for most of the way.
Yep, and we have over 30,000 runners in the field today, and I think what you're seeing across the country is this amazing impact of what these running groups are doing between the ages of 21 and 38, 39, 40. Every group in Austin these days, it seems like it has 200, 300, 400 people showing up to a track. And we never saw that kind of, excitement about the sport ever in the history.
We really saw the numbers pop last year. New York City had 59,000 finishers. That was a record. Chicago had 250,000 requests for entries for their 50,000 plus runners. Honolulu had a record, 43,000 runners in December. So Austin's joining that crowd, and it's glorious for the sport.
Yeah, and Tony and I look forward to bringing you all the coverage from the men's and women's fields all morning long. We'll be with you. We have Drew Butler and Alonzo Rodriguez as our sideline correspondents. They're going to show you all the energy and all the excitement that we have going on in the Austin Marathon today. And, we should start off by saying we have a local runner, Justin Botello, former college runner, was excellent in high school, ran at Texas State University, and we sat down with him yesterday to get his kind of insight on what his debut marathon looks like. He is one of Austin's best and most promising young runners coming up.
I'm here with Justin Botello of Austin, Texas. Justin, what kind of race are you looking to run tomorrow?
Looking to run a smart and efficient race, I think, from the start. I know, given the course of Austin, it could definitely be a little bit unforgiving on the back end of the course. So I'm looking to run as conservative and safe from the start, and then looking to hopefully crush some of those back end miles if I play it smartly. I think it being Austin, and I have a good idea of kind of what the course is going to be, so I'm super excited for what's to come, and just want to put myself in contention, just be up there, be up the front pack, be smart, and then just have my fitness just carry me through the race. So that's the plan.
With you being a bit of a local legend here in Austin, how special is it for you to be running the Austin Marathon, your big debut tomorrow?
Yeah, it's huge. I knew I've always wanted to run the marathon distance, and had a good idea of kind of what I could do in the marathon. And it being Austin, I thought maybe it's a perfect place to debut it. I have friends and family who are going to be there, and then it's my hometown, so getting to run through the streets that I train through every day. Super excited for it, and I'm just looking forward to it.
So this is one of the largest marathons in the country. For all the people that don't know Justin Mateo, that maybe aren't locals, why should they be rooting for you tomorrow?
I think, just given that it's my first marathon, I'm going to be kind of the underdog, and not too many people are probably looking out for my name. So hoping, open it up with a good one, and, just give me a good foundation going forward. Super excited for it. I think the fitness is there. So just excited for what's to come.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to see you.
And we just heard from Justin Botello there, who is one of the favorites. He's an underdog in this race for sure. He's never run a full marathon, but it is certainly, he's got all the tools. He's run a 66-minute half marathon. And if there's going to be a local to kind of disrupt Joey and Alicia and William Stionic, you could see Justin in this race for a very long time.
Well, he just finished sixth at the 3M Marathon in 106.02, January 18th, and that's always been sort of a lead-in for a lot of the locals. I know that Lowell Hankston is also another one of the athletes who ran that race, and I think was 7th place just behind him.
Yeah, exactly. And I've known Justin. I've watched him run for 15 years now, and if there's going to be somebody who he's biomechanically efficient, he's light on his feet, he has great pedigree. He's run at a very high level in college, and so don't be surprised for those watching at home if you see Justin Botello hanging around the 18, 19, 20-mile mark with the leaders.
A beautiful shot of the state capitol. 56 degrees Fahrenheit, 11-mile-per-hour wind this morning from the northwest, gusting to 22 miles per hour, 86% humidity, barometric pressure at 29.96 and rising, but perfectly clear. Ceiling and visibility unlimited, as they say, Cavu.
And it is an absolutely perfect morning. We have a number of celebrities and VIPs all down there in the VIP area this morning. They're all getting a view from the Stephen F. Austin Hotel of the finish line and the start line. This is one thing that Austin Marathon and the High Five Events team does better than almost any race in the country is the experience for the spectators and the fans. When you have a looped course in the middle of downtown, it is a fantastic scene. You have such great weather out there this morning. You're gonna have thousands of spectators down just in that area. You can see the crowds. One of our sponsors is Ascension Seton, and they have a little message that we're going to air right now.
Your health tomorrow depends on the care you choose today. At Ascension, Texas, our Seton, Providence, and Dell Children's Ministries deliver advanced, compassionate care from hospitals and clinics right in your backyard. We're proud to sponsor the 35th year of the Austin Marathon and support Austin staying healthy and active. Ascension Seton, caring for Texas families for over 120 years.
And we're back in another beautiful shot there of Lady Bird Lake. It is an absolutely perfect morning. Tony, what does 56 degrees, 59 degrees, 60 degrees, 62 probably when this race will finish, what will that do to these, to the people in the front of the pack, and how does it affect even your 3-hour, 3:30, 4-hour marathon?
Well, last year it was cold. It was almost under 40 degrees, and that's one of those days which is actually pretty good for the elites because they can just go firing off on all cylinders, and the heat that they're generating does not come back on them. At 56 degrees is perfectly fine as well. I don't think they'll have any problem, and the sun will not be high in the sky by the time they're finishing either. So I think the conditions, except for where the wind is coming out of the northwest, and you know the course better than I, but it's like you can see the flags on the Capitol starched out pretty well with gusts up to 22, 11 miles per hour. But again, wind conditions are very much like hills, and we have hills on this course. This is actually a wonderful race course. It's just not a flat, fast, get into a rhythm and hold it as long as you possibly can. I'm talking to Joey Whalen, our 2018 and 2019 champion. He was second back in 2023. He is in fine form for this race, and he's very anxious to put his experience to use. And he knows that he's the guy, along with Bradley McAvoy, a defending champion, who knows this course better than anybody else. And there are places, he said, where you can go hide. If you can get away, you can go hide. Out of sight, possibly out of mind. And that gives this race, an interesting component that other ones don't.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got the Enfield and Exposition. They've got a little bit of rolling hills there for 6 miles, 6 through 8. But I think people look at this course and they get it. They misunderstand the course. There are very few places in the world where you have 26.2 miles of completely flat road, right? And so if you really look at this course, it is beautiful. You get to see all 5 parts of Austin. You get to see East Austin, South Austin, and North Austin. You get to go through Hyde Park and the Capitol and the university. And so throughout the morning, we'll be seeing all kinds of cheering stations, and we'll be sure to highlight and tell our viewers at home who all is out there, which groups are out there. And to us, watching at home, I think the best part of the Austin Marathon is this finish at the Capitol.
Oh, yeah, it's just absolutely iconic. One of the things that the 1970, here's a look at our course map right now, our half marathon and our 5K. And you can see how the half marathon is in the purple, the full marathon is in the green. But one of the first things that happened in 1976 when the New York City Marathon left Central Park and went through all 5 boroughs, it created this urban experience where you felt like you were going on this journey. And you got to experience almost in New York like a new country every couple of kilometers. Chicago answered in 1977 when they began. Whereas in New York and in Chicago and in Los Angeles,
raced with me 10 years ago, and even Tony will tell you how different the second half of the course is. When 10 years ago, people didn't really live on the east side. There wasn't a lot of restaurants and businesses. Now the entire east side of the course, as they close in miles 15, 18, 20, 23, 25, it is filled with people. There are 20, 30, 40 cheering stations and groups, and so the entire experience of getting to meander throughout all of Austin is it is truly, for these runners, it is so fun. It is so much energy, and getting to finish, as Tony said, they couldn't have said it any better. The iconic finish with the drop of the Texas State Capitol on a bluebird perfect morning is something that all 30,000 of these runners get to do. 3,300 in the 5K. It is totally sold out. The half sold out. The full sold out. I mean, when you look at the numbers and you look at how much excitement there is for this event in Austin and how pumped up people are, and all the hotels are sold out downtown. The economic impact last year was $65 million. 7,000 more people, you're going to have a significantly bigger economic impact this year.
Well, the the Ascension Seton Austin Marathon has reflected the growth of its city. Austin has really exploded in population over the last decade or so, and as the marathon has as well. And we can see that the professionals out front are now doing their final strides as they warm up. This is the time when the anxiety is very high. I got about 7 minutes left before we shoot that gun to start off. Little congratulations. I think we're looking at Bernard Rotich and Alicia Barno in the similar outfits as they represent the same management team, TWI.
Yep.
And those guys, I think Alicia Barno says he's going to try to help Bernard to win the race, as Bernard seems to always finish behind Elijah when they race, and Elijah's won so many races that maybe he's trying to be a good sportsman and help his friend and compatriot win here in Austin today.
And winning grandmas and Twin Cities as often as they do is as often as he is really, really impressive. We're going to turn it over to Adam Bowman.
Course set up for you, whether you're doing the 5K, the half, or the full. Enjoy this beautiful city. We've got some great weather lined up for you. It's going to be nice and cool. And at the end of the day, if you have a little bit of trouble, we've got great people along the route. We'll keep you safe, keep you hydrated, keep you fed if you need it. End of the day, just enjoy this beautiful city. We are so excited to have you here. I hope every single one of you break your PR today. Good luck to everybody.
Thanks, Adam. We greatly appreciate it. That's super awesome. It's great to be out here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage. He's the head honcho in charge over at BPN Nutrition. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Baird.
All right, good morning, everyone. So a few years ago, I came across this quote. It was from Nike, and it really connected with me, and I'll share it with you guys. And it's that if you don't hate running a little, you don't love running enough. And the reason I share that is that I recognize that a lot of you guys put in a huge prep for this effort today. You stacked miles, hit your weekly speed workouts, you woke up early on Saturday mornings to go for a 2 to 3 hour run, and those of you that have a lot of life responsibilities and families and kids, I get it. I know you gotta get that done before they wake up. There's sacrifices that you put in. But to really enjoy the love of running, the love of the sport. The hay is in the barn, the work is stacked, and now you can come out here and throw down. So good luck to all the runners when it gets hard, and it will at one point, especially on this course. Go one more. Go another mile. Keep pushing, keep driving. So good luck. Love you guys. Go one more.
Awesome, Nick. Thank you so much, my man. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have a question about it. Let's hear.
Great. And we are looking at the start line here of the 2026 Ascension Seton Austin Marathon. 30,000 runners are getting ready to take to the streets of Austin and run the 5K, the half, or the full marathon versions of this race. They will touch all parts of the city. They will start by going up Congress Avenue, and they'll have the Capitol in the background there. And again, we have just amazing fields lined up on the men's and women's marathon side. And the same way we have some excellent male runners. Kellen Taylor has been a mainstay in the American running scene for 20 years. And so to see Kellen Taylor take to the streets of Austin is quite a scene for a lot of us that have been following the highest end of the sport for a very long time.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you want it done right. Thank you so much, Sophia. That is fantastic. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the stage five-time Olympic medalist, including 3 golds from Paris. Ladies and gentlemen, Austin's own Gabby Thomas.
Thank you. Good morning, Austin. I want everyone to look around you, because this is truly what courage looks like at 7 in the morning. And whether this is your first half marathon, or your first marathon, or your 15th, you have trained for this. You've trained in the heat, you've trained in the hills, you've trained in the humidity. And to me, that is elite behavior. And today isn't going to be about perfect splits, about everything going perfectly. It's going to be about showing up. And it's about discovering what you're capable of today. And at some point today, you're going to feel great. At some point today, you're going to start negotiating with yourself. And at some point today, you might even wonder who signed you up for this. But all that matters is that you are here and you got in the arena. So run your race, high five some strangers along the way, hug
At this time, we'd like to thank our sponsors who help us make this race possible. Great folks at Ascension Seton, the Moody Foundation, BPN, Fleet Feet Austin, PNC Bank, Good, Meanwhile Brewing Company, Shocks, San Antonio Spurs, HEB, Spy Belt, Austin Sports Commission, Fulmer and Chow, Paramount Theater, Finisher Picks, and our good friends at FloTrack. Now, ladies and gentlemen, runners, good luck in the 35th running of the Ascension Seton Austin Marathon and Half Marathon. Banging our official starting gong this morning will be Gabby Thomas. Ladies and gentlemen, runners of all ages, one very important question for each and every one of you. Let me know, are you ready? All right, ladies and gentlemen, runners, to your mark. There we go, guys and gals. This is for the Elite Wave and Group A. Elite Wave and Group A. My goodness, this is what we call fantastic. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, looking good and feeling good.
All right, our 2026 Ascension Seton Austin Marathon is off. Our elite runners are off. David Fuentes in the half marathon, he is up there. Joey Whelan is up there. Mitch Ammons. I see Caleb Hershey. All of our half marathon and marathon, kind of our favorites. William Stionic, Alicia Barno, they're all out there strong. One of our favorites in the women's field is Sarah Jackson, a 2020 marathon champion. We did sit down with Sarah Jackson yesterday, and she had, really, really inspiring words talking about her time in the Austin community. We're gonna get a little clip there of Sarah and her talking, but as Joey Whelan takes a start.
On the left in the pink, number 12, a two-time champion from 2018 to 2019, comes into this race off a second place finish at the California International Marathon in December, where he ran a personal best 2:09:41. It's been very cool, cold, freezing, horrible. And up in upstate New York, up in near Rochester, where he lives in Webster, New York. And he's doing a lot of his training on a treadmill. But as you said, I've got 34 marathons in my legs, so the pounding they're used to. And so he doesn't expect just being on the treadmill for his long runs and hard workouts to be a detriment today.
And I know that Joey's got his wife, Mona, and his dog, Basil, watching at home right now. They have, I believe she's a radiologist, and Joey made a decision a few months ago to go all in on running, which is why you've seen Joey kind of go from this 2:14, 15, 16 guy to all of a sudden a top 10, top 15 marathoner in the country. He led 41K of CIM in December. 41K, only got beat in the last 1,000 meters, but this big jump in performance from Joey has largely, and he'll tell you, has been attributed to his ability to just go all in on this training.
Well, he says, I'm 34 years of age. I have a whole lifetime to be whatever I want to be other than that, but elite athletes have a window. And once that window closes, that's the end of that time for you to being an elite athlete. And at 34 years of age, he says, he asked his wife, and his wife said, no, you go for it. This is your opportunity. You've been given the talent. Now let's really concentrate on these next couple of years and use that window to the best opportunity you can. And so here he is in front of the half marathoners. And I think this is part of his plan. They're not double numbering. In other words, the people behind these runners cannot tell who a marathoner is and who's not a half marathoner. They used to do this at the Country Music Marathon in Nashville, Tennessee as well, and it can be very confusing. Do I go with that guy? Is that somebody I'm racing, or is that somebody in the half marathon? Because these people will all run together for the first 11 miles, and Joey knows this, and he's going to take advantage of that by trying to scoot away with the half marathoners.
Yep, and our broadcast partners this morning, obviously you're watching this right now at home on FloTrack, and on the right-hand side there, you will see High Shot Cinematics, which is, and they are producing this shot that we're looking at right now. this is one of the finest cameras I've ever seen in my life. It is absolutely beautiful. The team at L2 Productions works tirelessly for the month leading up into this, trading emails, getting these cameras ready, getting these roads closed. So High Five Events, FloTrack, High Shot Cinematics, and L2 Productions is the team behind all of the work that goes into this. Tony and I are merely just, we're here for a couple hours, but all of this other work, this beautiful car and that High Shot has brought out here to provide these shots is truly stunning.
You can see these two other athletes running with Joey Whalen there in the half marathon. Right behind them, Alicia Barno and Bernard Grotich, the 41 and 39-year-old Kenyans, who are just longtime pros, you know, on the circuit. And then behind them, Bradley McAvoy and the other people strung out. But again, this is the combination, twining of marathoners and half marathoners.
And as they go up Congress here, we are going to get that clip up and play it. We talked to Sarah Jackson yesterday for a few minutes, and Sarah Jackson is a 2020 Austin Marathon champion. She, you know, is ready to run, and most importantly, she just absolutely loves the running community here.
I'm here with Sarah Jackson. Sarah, so one of the things that I really kind of loved about your write-up was just kind of how you explained running all over the city. The hills of Enfield, tempos at Congress. Last time you ran the Austin Marathon, you ran a 2:55, and you said you're going for a 2:40. That's a huge jump. What's happened in your training to make you feel so good about that 2:40?
Great question. Yeah, so that was about 5 years ago, and that is right before I started working with my coach now. His name is Steve Sisson, so I run with Tella's running group, and my training is day and night different than what I was doing back then. So I think just sticking with and building block after block after block. Since 2020 and since that last marathon, I've probably run, oh goodness, 10 or to 12 marathons since then. So I've had a lot of practice, a lot of training underneath me, and really sticking to like a structured plan. Also just getting more confidence, getting more miles in. I think my miles have gone from maybe 60 miles per week to now 80, 90 miles per week. So I think that's been it's not something you can do overnight. It's something that has to build. And I've seen significant drops. It was pretty cool since then. Went from like 255 to 252 to 248 to 245 to 240. So it's been a neat drop and a really good one to help with confidence. And tomorrow, I've run 245 on this course back in 2023, and so I think this now 5-minute drop, with the wind, with the heat, I don't know what's going to happen, but that's my goal. I think I'm just pretty confident that's going to be somewhere in that range. Mm-hmm.
You're a bit of a local legend here. Can you tell me a little bit about your deep ties to the city and just what makes it so special running here in Austin?
Oh man, this one could make me cry. It's the Austin running community is something that I just can't explain. It's something that when you're here, you just feel. You feel when you're up, even starting at 5 a.m. All kinds of people are out on the roads running, and it's not something you see in every single city. And my husband and I, we've tried to move to different places over the year, like Boise, like Colorado. We have a lot of love for the mountains, but the thing that keeps us here is the running community and the friends that we've made over the years and the amount of support that we have from the people in the running community. It means so much to me. So I think that is what keeps me out there and keeps me going. And everybody's trying to chase all these maybe faster courses for these times, but I think there's something so special about the crowds that are out there on the Austin course. And then everybody that is putting on the Austin Marathon, that just makes it a really, really special race and something that keeps me coming back year after year and wanting to run it.
Yeah, it's been 16 times, and I know all the locals will be rooting for you. I'll be rooting for you. Can you, for everyone that's not from Austin, why should they be rooting for you tomorrow?
I think just the amount of work that goes into training for a marathon, whether you're trying to go out there and win it, or whether you're going out there trying to do your first one, or training for a BQ. Like, the amount of work that goes behind the scenes of not just going out there and running the miles, but dedicating a whole training block to staying healthy, to doing all the small things that get you ready for the start line. So I'm no different than anybody else out there, but I think just the dedication I've had to this race and putting in the miles on this course and just feeling ready to go. I want to do it to show others, like, running is a really fun sport in a way that you can be part of the community and just a healthy lifestyle. My family started running 5Ks when I was, I think, 4 years old, because my dad ran at UT, my mom's always been a runner, so it's something that's been like ingrained in me for so long, and I can't imagine my life without running, so I don't know, I just love it so much.
Well, I think I speak for the city of Austin when I say we're all rooting for you tomorrow. Sarah Jackson.
It was great to hear from Sarah there. Sarah's a former 2020 Austin Marathon 2020 Austin Marathon champion was Sarah Jackson, and great to hear from her. And we get back to seeing.
Yeah, we are back with our men's lead pack, and we could say that in the red, Griffin Neal, graduate of University of Incarnate Word out of San Antonio. Living in Austin, he's a 29:57 10K man, a 13:49 5K, and 3:52 1500 meters. So he's got a lot of talent running the half marathon. The man right behind him in the hat, David Fuentes, also from Austin. Those are the two half marathoners in this lead pack. And then there is number 18, and that is our Alicia Barno from Kenya, 41 years of age. And he's the 5-time Grandma's champion out of Duluth, and a 3-time Twin Cities Marathon, and a 2-time Los Angeles Marathon champion. So he is the biggest pro in this field. And even at age 41, this guy's never come off his training. So he is, even though he's run a lot of marathons, you cannot take him lightly.
No, you can't. And I think you have, if you're Joey Whelan right now, you're the only one running this marathon. You and Alicia Barno are running this thing, but it is very helpful to have David Fuentes, 2-time Olympic trials qualifier. He's a 2:16 marathoner. Griffin Neal, 29:57 10K guy, 13:49 5K guy. These are two very good, very experienced runners where for 11 miles, you're going to have two guys with you. So it's not like Joey and Alicia Barno are going to be out there all by themselves. They're very aware that David and Griffin are only going to be running the half. They've already spotted this out. And so not only do you have a race up at the front with the half, but for Joey and Alicia, it's really, really helpful to not have to think for the first 11 miles.
Well, as a practical matter, they're pace hitters.
Yeah, exactly.
Or the marathon, even though they're racing in the half marathon.
And there you see Mitch Ammons, Ryan Wajla, two excellent Austin local runners. Mitch is a previous champion. Mitch is leading in the white with the backwards hat. Ryan Wajla is in the Adidas kit right behind him. In the blue. And Ryan is a 68-minute half marathoner. Mitch is a 64-minute half marathoner. So these guys up in the front are really clipping along, and we'll get some splits here at the 5K for how they're doing. And they should be hitting the 5K in somewhere around 4 minutes.
The first couple of miles of this course are an upgrade. Not a hill, but it's an upgrade.
It is, and when they make the turn in about half a mile here, they will be greeted with a screaming downhill section of South First. And the big thing for these runners will be, do you start to press and get going, or do you lay back and really allow the course just to kind of do the work, because it is so early. And it will be very interesting if you're David Fuentes and if you're Griffin Neal, are you going to start to kind of make a gap on Joey and Elijah and do your own race, or are you going to let them come with you? And so we will see, the first kind of quasi move being made here right at the 5K mark between David and Griffin, and we will see what they choose to do on this downhill section. As you see these beautiful shots, these super shoes that everybody is wearing these days, and especially at the highest level of the sport, have contributed tremendously to people's abilities to run significantly faster, train a lot harder. As you see Fuentes on the left there in the all black, bib number 20012, Griffin Neal, bib number 358371, Alicia Barno, bib number 18, in the red, and you see Griffin Neal, and you see Joey Whalen in the Puma kit, the purple colored one sitting in the back there with the hat on.
You know, he said he just got back from a few days in my hometown of San Diego, California. He said just to get out of Webster, New York for a few days. If the Buffalo Bills had made the Super Bowl, they were going to go to San Francisco and spend the holiday. I mean, their time off. Instead, they didn't make the Super Bowl, so they went to Montana, did some skiing, and then went to San Diego for 4 days to get out of the cold.
That is Joey Whelan's obviously a huge Buffalo fan. He's from the area, and it is nice to see that some of these runners have can do some other fun stuff besides just tacking on the miles. And Joey's a great guy, and we've spent a lot of time with him over the years.
Right, exactly. Two-time champion, 2018, 2019, knows the course. He came into this race last year, only got 6th place, but he said I was coming off a year of iron deficiency, and it just took me and it does. It takes the longest time to take supplements to get yourself back balanced in your iron. And so last year he was not the Joey Whelan that we had come to know here at the Austin Marathon. But this year he says, I am in top form and have done some great workouts back home. They'll beat it on the treadmill. So, but he says, I've got 35 marathons in my legs anyway. And look at the size of those legs. Those are bomber quads. He does well on downhills, I'm sure.
He does. And, you know, if you really... This race, obviously, he's a 2-time champion. He's finished 2nd, but this race is probably most special to him because this is where he proposed to Mona and then officially became a dog dad to Basil. So it's a great special place for him as they turn here onto Ben White Boulevard. They're going to be on this road for about a 1/4 mile. It is perfectly flat, and then they get to go to the downhill section of South First for about 3 miles. They'll hit 5K in just a few minutes, just a few seconds here.
Is gas really $2.79 here?
It is $2.79, yeah.
God,
yeah.
$2 cheaper than San Diego.
There's a lot of reasons why people love living in Austin. The weather,
wow.
The price of things. It is a great place to live.
No, there's 50 minutes and 42 seconds on the clock. You know, we're looking for that first 5K split. We've got all the splits from the past years, ready to make some comparisons. 2:11 is the course record. It's been held for a long, long period of time. And now it's the event record. I shouldn't say it's the course record because they've changed the course over the years.
And those leaders, David Fuentes, Griffin Neal, Alicia Barno, and Joey Whelan, all hit 5K in 15:31. For those keeping track at home, that is exactly 5-minute pace. And for the marathon, it is it's 1:06 pace for the half and 2:12 pace for the full marathon. Our event record back in the old days when the course was point to point was 2:11. This course record is 2:13. So these guys are right from the get-go. They are going to go attack the course record. They've already made a significant gap on the chase pack, but the way this course and this day will play out, you do not, just because they've got a 50-meter lead right now on everybody at 5K, that means absolutely nothing. A marathon is 26.2 miles. It is won between kilometers 35 to 40 or 30 to 40. It is not won in the first 5K. Tony has commented more marathons than just about anybody, and he's seen every single thing, and he can probably tell you no race has ever been won in the first 5K.
You know, I talked to Bill Rogers years and years ago, and one of his famous quotes was, you know, the leader through 10 miles of the Boston Marathon almost never wins the race. Almost never. You don't front load a marathon. You save running in your legs. I was on a flight yesterday from San Diego to come here to Austin, and on the flight with me was a young man from San Francisco who was running his debut marathon, Juan Tremillo from San Francisco, 34 years of age, coming to town because his best friend now lives here in Austin. So they're both running their debut marathons. And I was spending most of the flight giving him advice on what not to do, including go out too hard. You want to have running left in your legs for that final 10K. As other people who have made the mistake of going out too hard start coming back and you start climbing through them, there's an enormous emotional gain from doing that. And you want to be in a position where you're passing people and using their spent energy for yourself. So I said, you can, Frank Shorter had another famous quote, go out at a pace you think you can hold the whole way, and then from there slow down just a little bit.
And I'm not so sure we have we did talk about the wild card in this race, William Satonic. I don't know if he started because we do not have a 5K split for him, and he would have probably crossed 5 kilometers by now, unless he is laying way back. But
is that unless that's him, like in fifth? You can see all the way back, but he would have been there. We're just looking for Africans in the lead group, but if he's not crossing over the timing mats, if he's not wearing a number that is registering on his timing mat, he came all the way from Kenya, showed up in Austin, went through the process of finding people who could help enter him in the race, did an interview with you guys.
Yep.
He did everything but not start the race.
Yeah, that would be something. But we are looking out for him because he is undoubtedly the most talented runner on this course. If we can find him and spot him, and as you see there, we have these guys are coming on Ben White. They're running right around 5:45 pace or so.
Well, the guy we see on the pink socks here looks like he's at 35K already. But everyone, there's no style points in this game. It's just point A to point B as soon as you can, and how you get there is up to you.
That's right. And our broadcast partner today, and for those of you watching at home, obviously with High Shot Cinematics, L2 Productions, and FloTrack. And so we are going to take you to a commercial break right now with FloTrack, and then we are going to get you a little pre-race interview we did yesterday with Alicia Barno.
Collegiate. Of sweat, every kick to the finish line, nearly every high school state champion, and outdoor track and field, world marathon majors, and the world's best in the Diamond League. From the next generation to the best in the world, the season unfolds here on FloTrack. You're a part of every moment. All season, all in, all here. Don't miss a moment. Lock in your annual subscription today.
All right, I'm here with Alicia Barno, 6-time Grandma's Marathon champ. He brings a pretty strong resume into here. How did you decide to do the Austin Marathon and compete tomorrow in the race?
Yeah, I have been hearing about Austin. My target was maybe one day to come and run here, and I'm very happy to get this chance to come and run in Austin.
So you've traveled all the way from Kenya for this race. What are your expectations tomorrow? What is your goal for the race? Are you looking to simply win the race? Do you have a time in mind?
Yeah, my target is to win the race tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've got some pretty stout teammates out there. You're running with some fellow Kenyan athletes. How do you guys work together in the race while still wanting to compete and win with one another?
Yeah, maybe tomorrow we are going to push each other to test our body and maybe to get a good time.
Okay, so you have a really strong background. You've won a bunch of marathons. You've run a bunch of U.S. marathons. You've got to have a go-to reward for yourself after the race. Is there a certain type of food or anything that you really enjoy to eat after a hard marathon effort?
Yeah, I like chicken and rice, or rice and eggs, yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey, we look forward to seeing you out there on the course tomorrow. Best of luck in the race, okay?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Cheers, man.
I'm very happy.
It was great to hear from Alicia Barno and Drew Butler yesterday. Great to hear from Alicia Barno and Drew Barno yesterday. It was so funny yesterday, Tony. I was talking to
We are back 22 minutes, 30 seconds into the 2026 Ascension Seton Austin Marathon. Tony Revis along with Paris Shah, and they're right at 5 minute per mile pace. Both the half marathoners, which is David Fuentes in the black with the hat, and Griffin Neal in the red leading the way. They're half marathoners. Elijah Barno, number 18 in the white on the right of the screen from Kenya, 41 years of age. Behind them in the pink outfit representing Puma with that kit, Joey Whelan out of Webster, New York, the 2-time previous champion here in Austin in 2018 and 2019. And it's a perfect day, 56 degrees Fahrenheit. There's a little bit of wind out on the course, but it doesn't seem to be affecting them right now. 5 minute pace through the marathon is 2:11:06. Now both Elijah Barno and Joey Whelan have personal bests well below that. but it's smart on a course like this to go out at a pace with those other people, use those half marathoners as pace setters for as long as you possibly can before you have to break it down just to 2 guys.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what happens here, because you have this whole dynamic where you get these half marathoners running with these full marathoners. Obviously, Griffin and David Fuentes are both incredibly accomplished. I mean, you can just see how relaxed Griffin Neal looks right now with Alicia Barno just sitting right on it. But I mean, man, Griffin Neal looks incredibly relaxed. 29.57. He's a young guy. He's 23 years old, 24 years old. He just graduated from the University of Incarnate Word. And so we're about to get a nice little shot here of our lead women. There's Kellen Taylor, and I believe, and she is in the black with the black hat, and I believe in the white.
24-14.
We will get a bib number here in the white in just a moment, but Kellen Taylor just moving along pretty good here. We'll get you a split of Kellen in just one moment.
Yeah, Kellen Taylor is a 225 woman at her best, but it's been a while. She was injured last year, and she only ran 1 race in 2025, and she's starting a new job. She's becoming a firefighter. At the end of March, she's going to the academy. She's thinking about this for the last couple of years, lives in Flagstaff. She applied, and it's always something she sort of wanted to do, was in her head. And as she's getting near the end of her running career, she's going to do a couple of marathons in the next couple of months, including here in Austin. And then she's going to go to firefighter school to sort of reclaim this dream she's had.
Yeah.
Wonderful story.
It is a wonderful story, and it's also wonderful to have Kellen here on the streets of Austin. She's one of the, obviously one of the finest runners in America in the last 10, 15 years.
And she says she's finally got herself back in form. She says, you know, I've got a weird race day plan. I'm, starting that new job, and so she wants to use this as more of a solid effort where she feels good again. But if you start, marathoning or running in general is a game of momentum, and like a body in motion keeps going in motion, but a body that's feeling good continues to feel good, and a body that doesn't feel good continues not to feel good. And if you start having a string of bad performances, it's a hard thing to sort of staunch that bleeding and get yourself back on the good side. And Kellen's hoping that Austin this morning does that for her. I mean, she's been a Pan Am bronze medalist in 2015 at 5,000 meters on the track. She's been a NACAC champion at 5,000 meters also in 2015. So, she's got a wonderful career behind her, and she's got a wonderful career ahead of her. Ben Bruce in Flagstaff is her coach.
And yesterday I had the good fortune of spending so much time with Alicia Barno and the Trans World team and William Stayonic, and it was actually, Tony will get a great kick out of this. They came and they saw the fanfare around Nick Bear and the BPN team, and they wanted a gel, and so all of them waited in line to get these gels, and this is going to be a very important part of their fueling strategy as they progress through 26.2 miles. But obviously BPN and Bear Performance Nutrition and Nick Bear, they're a huge company, they're a huge sponsor of the race, they're big friends with everybody here in the race, and we're going to take it to commercial and show you a little bit about what BPN does, and hopefully everyone feels just as inspired as even Alicia Barno, William Stayonic did yesterday when they got their gel packets from BPN.
It's the promise to never stop. Into the journey. Putting belief in front of ability. Whatever it takes. We are here to remind you, there is more to your potential. Fuel it.
At bib number 358, leading Alicia Barno and Joey Wheelan. No, and David Fuentes. David Fuentes is in the all-black, the Hoka singlet. Alicia Barno is in the Running Depot white singlet, and Joey Whelan is in the black hat and the purple singlet. Griffin Neal has decided to start pressing the pace. You can see the visible increase in cadence. It's a downhill section. They're on 2:11 pace, 5 flat per mile. They're just clipping along. But you got to, Joey and Elijah have to be very careful here because Griffin Neal, A, has the wheels. David Fuentes is a 2-time Olympic trials marathon qualifier. He's been one of the best runners in the city for the last 15 to 18 years in Austin. They are only running 13 miles. They're not running 26. And the moment that David and Griffin make their move, the question will be, will Elijah and Joey decide to go with them, or will they lay back? How aware are they that that Griffin is starting to press? Because you can see the increase in cadence and how relaxed even David in the all-black looks behind Griffin in the all-red. The pace is getting hot, and 2:11 is not a joke. It is a very, very good time.
Alicia Barno looks very smooth, very easy, very efficient, no back kick. He's run 1 million marathons, many of them under 2:10. He knows what he's doing. He's won, major marathons. Joey Whelan's won this race twice. He's in fine form. He knows that the half marathoners are out there and he wants to use them. So I don't see any problem. If this was a debutante marathoner that was up there, maybe we'd have a question, but these are two real veterans. Joey's run 34 marathons. I'm sure Elijah's run that many, if not more. So I think they're playing their hand exactly as they should. And now Kellen Taylor in the all-black out of Flagstaff. She's 39 years old right now. She's been targeting, doing a little bit more faster tempo work, but right now past 4 miles she was only on 6 minute per mile pace. I mean, that's 2:37 marathon. I mean, that's like a tempo run for her.
It is, and Sarah Jackson was 1914 through 5K. She was running 6:12 pace. And so you have Kellen Taylor leading, Sarah Jackson right behind her, and we will see. We did not get an official split for Kellen Taylor at 5K. I think she barely missed the 5K mat or something happened there, but we hopefully will get a 10K split. She's definitely up there and leading, and so there's a chance that the same thing happened to William Satonic, and maybe he's laying back. But these runners are going up Lake Austin Cesar Chavez right now. They're coming up the lake. The trail is on their left-hand side. You can see the thousands, quite literally thousands of people lining the South First Street and the Congress bridges. They're about to get to another really fast part of the course. They're going to get to go downhill up to Lake Austin Boulevard in Austin High. Just 30,000 people taking the streets of Austin this morning, 31 minutes into the race.
Just to give you some comparison, last year, the men went through 5K in 16 minutes and 27 seconds. This year, 15 minutes and 31 seconds. Almost a full minute faster. Last year, the race was won in just under 2 hours and 19 minutes. Right now, they're on 2:11 flat pace.
And Joey Whelan in the purple, we did get to sit down with him yesterday. Joey joined us for a pre-race interview with Drew Butler, and so we will get that loaded up, and we will get to hear what Joey had to say as you're looking at your men's marathon leader alongside Alicia Barno.
Coming to you live with Joey Whelan. Joey, former champ, back again. How many Austin marathons is this for you?
This is good. This is going to be my 5th.
What keeps you coming back? And I mean, I know you're a former champ, so that's going to be pretty exciting to some degree, but there's something about this course that you like, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't train to just train. I train to race, and this is a racing course.
So, to that end, you were telling me outside that you've just been training on a treadmill. You're coming from New York, coming from the cold. What's it like to get on a course and be live on your feet and not on a treadmill anymore?
I think I'll get a little boost from that, just because it'll be a lot easier to just run on the roads than like in training, for instance. I did a 27-mile long run on a treadmill in my basement.
Okay.
That's mentally hard. Yeah. So it'll be nice to have some fresh air.
So knowing the course and the way that you do, is there a certain point in the race? Is there a certain mile or a certain marker where you're like, I've got it today or I don't? Is there something that in your head tomorrow you're like, hey, I get here, and if I'm feeling good, I know I'm going to have a good day?
I mean, I'll feel it out as the course goes. And I mean, a big thing about why I'm coming here too is I really want to practice racing. So I just want to feel it out and try to practice running with people. But if I feel like I need to press, I'll press.
Yeah. Well, man, remind me, I think I'm correct in saying that you proposed at this race.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes.
So I know you said you're solo here today, but tell us a little bit about your family at home.
Yep. So like Monica, I mean, she's my rock. She's like everything, and she's the one like after like last year, she's just like, hey, like I really think you should just go all in with running. So she's had me quit my job and just focus solely on this and see how good I could get. And I mean, just from that guidance, I dropped my time from running in like the 2:14s to running 2:09 a couple months ago. So
that's unreal, man. Well, this guy is the Austin Marathon, so we're excited to see you run tomorrow. All the best on the course.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
And that was Drew Butler with Joey Whalen, who right there is in the purple singlet. He went through 10K in 30:33 alongside Alicia Barno at his 4:51 pace. So they went out in 5 flat pace up Congress. They came back down south first in 4:51 pace. Just like Tony and I were talking about, the pace got ratcheted up. You have Griffin Neal leading in the red. He is only running the half, but he has looked like kind of what we thought was going to happen. He was going to apply pressure to David Fuentes. He did down south first. They put 50 or 70 meters on David Fuentes, and now you've got, I don't expect Alicia Barno or Joey Whalen to take the lead over Griffin Neal. They're going to just probably sit back and let him do his thing for 11.5 miles before he peels off on his own. But, obviously 30:33 at 10K for Griffin Neal as well. He's going to run 65, 64 minutes, something like that on this course.
The 5K split was a minute faster than last year. The 10K split is 2 minutes faster than last year. From 30:33 this year to 32:34 last year. So these guys are in rhythm. And that, I don't think they've changed their cadence at all. I think that first couple of miles is an upgrade, and that second 5K is a faster split than it is the first 5K, and so that effort created a 30-second faster 5K in that second section than the first.
And there's Kellen Taylor and Sarah Jackson. You have Kellen Taylor, who is obviously just, one of America's finest distance runners over the last 15 to 20 years. You have Sarah Jackson sitting right behind her. Our leaders for the women's marathon are going to be coming up pretty shortly here. You have Kellen Taylor, Sarah Jackson, Samantha Steve, Joy Jiang, Emily Sharp, and Kareth Arnold. Those are your top 6 athletes. Kareth Arnold is running about 6:30 pace. Emily Sharp running about 6:28 pace. Joy Jiang, who was, she was aiming to run somewhere in the 2:45 range today. We'll get to her kind of story later today, but that would be around 2:46 pace. So even Sarah Jackson, who was a 2020 marathon champion, she's on 2:40 pace right now, right next to, Kellen Taylor.
And Sarah's coming off a 7th place finish at the 3M half marathon on January 18th, where she ran 1:16.
Yeah. We'll get a bib number for exactly who was running next to Kellen Taylor, but and hopefully we'll get some splits from Kellen.
2:0073, I believe, but it's like white on white. I think she's a half marathoner.
I think so as well. Oh, that is Catherine Deegan, who is definitely running the half. And so she came through 5K right next to Kellen Taylor at 6:12 pace. So you have Kellen has another a female to run with, but also Kellen's got a lot of people just around her. She's right in that 2:38, 2:39 marathon pace.
No, she's in her own kind of rhythm. And again, she's a professional. She's been at this a long period of time. She's going to use what she can. The crowds are fabulous here on both sides of the street. But Kellen's already well in her rhythm. Coming out of Flagstaff now, coming into a 56-degree day in Austin's got to feel glorious. Beautiful view of downtown from over the bridge.
Alicia Barno. Joey Whelan taking his first fluids of the day right over there, right around 15K. We're going to see them hit 15K just as they get up to the top of this little hill on Veterans Drive. They just ran right past the Austin High track. That is where Griffin Neal, David Fuentes, Mitch Ammons, all these guys train right there on the Austin High track every morning. It's one of the most beautiful tracks in the country. You will not see very many places in this country have tracks that are effectively centrally located right alongside, the main running trail. You'll see the Austin High track and field and cross country teams out there every morning. It is a really, really beautiful venue to train in, and I know so many Austin runners are incredibly lucky that they get to spend their mornings out there.
Kellen Taylor was 15th earlier this year at the U.S. Half Marathon Championships in Atlanta. Rather than last year, she did that in March around this time frame in 1:11:25. That was the sole race of last year. She's dealing with injury. In 2024, she was 15th at the Olympic Trials in Orlando, 6th at the 10,000-meter Olympic Trials, and then 10th at the New York City Marathon. She's run the New York City Marathon at least a half a dozen times, always in the top 10, so she knows what urban marathons are all about. Back up with our lead men, Alicia Barno from Kenya, 41 years of age, the multiple-time Grandma's Twin Cities and Los Angeles Marathon champion. Griffin Neal, out of Incarnate Word in San Antonio, but now living in Austin. He's running the half marathon. And Joey Whelan in the hat and the purple. He's the two-time former Austin Marathon champion. So a lot of champions in that lead pack.
And you can see here, they're going up about 150-ish meter small incline. It is the first kind of laborious part of the course. They've been running on a very flat, fast section this whole morning. So that's the first minor little climb that they had to do. Everyone got out of there unscathed. I don't know what everybody here had for breakfast, but I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich at about 4:15 in the morning, and I had some good jelly and some good peanut butter. Good is one of the main sponsors of this 2026 Ascension Seton Austin Marathon, so we're going to take it to a commercial break right now with Good.
I lost the bet. Marathon in a Strawberry Junction, and they got 10,000 followers.
And that good is very good. We do have a little update here on your marathon elite women. Kellen Taylor crosses 10K in 37:20, 6 flat pace. For those keeping track here at home, that is 2:44 marathon pace, right at 6-minute pace. In second place is Sarah Jackson. She is not on camera yet. We will get her and find her. She's running 6:06 pace, which is 2:35-ish marathon pace. I think I misspoke about Kellen Taylor's pace, but she's running 6 flat pace. Sarah Jackson's running 6:08, 6:09 pace. Joy Jiang is in third. She's 39 flat at 10K. Joy Jiang is 39 flat at 10K. And on the men's marathon leader side, Alicia Barno, 30:33 at 10K. We're about to get a 15K split. Joey Whelan, 30:33 as well. Bradley Macuvere, 31:48. He is running 5:06 pace. Bernard Rotich is in fourth place, running 5:13 pace. And Sean Handel running 5:13 pace, runs at 10K is at 32:41. So you have Joey Whelan and Alicia Barno and Griffin Neal. That is right there on your screen. Griffin is in the red. If for those of you just joining us right here on this FloTrack live stream, I'm Paris Shaw, and I'm joined by Tony Revis. Griffin Neal is a 29:57 10K guy, 3:52 1500 meter runner, 13:49 5K runner, fresh graduate from University of Incarnate Word down in San Antonio, from Wimberley, Texas, just around the corner from here in Austin, and is kind of guiding Alicia Barno and Joey Whelan. Elijah in the white, Joey Whelan in the purple. He is guiding them along down Lake Austin Boulevard right now. They're going to make a turn on Exposition, but they are absolutely flying. They're looking really, really relaxed, clipping off 455 miles, and Griffin is really applying the pressure here and making sure that he is kind of, he's got about 100 or so meters on David Fuentes, who is a second place half marathoner, and it is just an absolute perfect morning, 58 degrees, not really much wind, as you see Joey Whelan throw a bunch of water on his head there. Your 2026 Ascension Seton Austin Marathon is just a perfect morning, 45 minutes into the race. Yesterday, we were joined by Caleb Hershey, who was running 5:08 pace. He's a Colorado College graduate, just is leaving the team there to transfer, find a new running home, but he's one of the potentially a really good up-and-coming story as you'll see him start to run more full marathons around the country. So Drew Butler sat down with Caleb Hershey yesterday, and we got a few words with him, and he's sitting in about 4th place in this half marathon field right now.
I'm here with Caleb Hershey. Caleb, you are kind of unique in this race in that you're doing the half marathon, but you're still in college. So you're going to be running in the elite field, looking to run a fast time. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you picked the Austin half marathon to come compete tomorrow.
Yeah. So I I ran throughout college as I'm going to be a senior graduating. This spring, I've always liked the longer distances, the better. The longer the race, the better I tend to be at it. And I've always loved cross country a lot more than track, just because the course makes it a little slower. Leg speed is less of a thing. So after this fall, I was really kind of hoping to move up in distance, and I chose to come run the Austin half just because the fields are usually pretty competitive, and just the timing and everything. It's a pretty good lead up race for a spring marathon.
So lead up race. What are your goals tomorrow? And then within that, how does that set you up for? Tell us a little bit about some of the marathons you're looking at for the spring.
Yeah. I'd love to try to run in the 105 mid-range, around 5 flat pace, maybe a little faster if the legs are feeling good halfway through. I hope that's the case. So and I'm hoping to build up into a marathon at the end of May, probably the Vermont City Marathon, and in that I'd love to run 2:18, sub 2:20, maybe even get lucky and get close to the Olympic trials standard. But in the future, my long-term goal is to make the Olympic trials for the next cycle.
That's awesome. So you're looking towards the Olympic trials, but you're also in school. How do your kind of studies play into the discipline of being a distance athlete?
Yeah. I'm an elementary ed major, and I'm currently student teaching in a 1st grade classroom. So it's during the week, my days are very structured. It's wake up at 5 a.m., cross train, teach all day, usually cross train again for 45 minutes, and then go run, eat dinner, and by the time all that's done, it's 7:30, then to go to bed at 8:30 to get up early and do it all again. So it's to keep a pretty structured schedule.
Well, man, we look forward to seeing you out there tomorrow. All the best in the course, and I hope it goes well for you.
Sick. Thank you.
And we're back, and again, this beautiful morning out there. It is sunny. It is 65 degrees. These runners are hitting mile 9-ish, almost.
No, they're past 15K.
Oh, sorry, past 15K. They're about to hit a beautiful part of the course. This is Enfield Road and Exposition Hills, and it is probably one of the, it's an old Austin neighborhood, Terrytown. You're going to see in a moment here, you'll see hundreds of people at various cheer stations along the course. The whole neighborhood is out, and Alicia Barno is kind of taking the lead. He's about to, looks like he wants to grab some hydration. That's his first time we've seen him do that.
Griffin Neal in the red, running the half marathon. Then Alicia Barno, once again, a 5-time Grandma's Marathon champion out of Duluth, Minnesota. He's a 3-time Twin Cities Marathon in Minnesota. He's also a 2-time Los Angeles Marathon champion. So this is a guy that knows how to win, even at age 41. Those times were, even though he won back in Los Angeles in 27 and 2019, he's won as recently as 2024. So this guy's someone that Joey Whelan has to really consider as a real threat. They are running at 2:10:40 pace past 15 kilometers.
Yep, and we just saw a huge cheer section go by. I think that was the raw running cheer section.
Look at on television, when you see the actual decline or incline, that means that's how steep it really is, because TV's just 2 dimensions and it's hard to really tell, but you can see it here. These are really rolling hills. These are places where you can really get action. 10 miles, boom, 49:54.
That's sub 5-minute pace. They're still on 2:11 marathon pace, which means that Griffin Neal, who's only running the half, he's in the red. He's leading Alicia Barno and Joey Whelan. That means Griffin Neal's going to run somewhere around 65:30, 65 flat for the half if he keeps, keep going here over the next 5K.
If he can maintain.
And that is absolutely cooking. I mean, it is a.
Now Elijah's saying to Joey, stop, sitting on me. But this is part of the tactics of racing, is that they don't give you premiums like in cycling, where the miles you lead you get extra points for that. In running, I've always said, if the kick is what you have, why would you waste that by going up and doing your fair share of work? Now, in the wheelchair division of races, there is very much a shared effort, because there's a greater drafting element to wheelchair racing than there is to foot racing. But Kenyans are notorious for being hard pace setters but not having a confidence in their kick. Ethiopians are known for having the fast kick. So the Ethiopians sit, and the Kenyans drives them wild. And they're always putting their hand out like, come on, you help do some work, And the Ethiopians say, no, you're just doing a fine enough job.
That's right. As you see this beautiful shot over Lady Bird Lake and Cesar Chavez, 30,000 runners are taking to the streets this morning in your 2026 Ascension Seton Austin Marathon, the 35th version of this race. Remember, for those watching at home, your course record is around 2:13:20. These guys are going after the course record this morning. The weather is absolutely perfect. The pace is super fast. And so, Sammy Rotich, 2:14:23 is your current course record. I misspoke. And so, I think you're going to see probably a course record today.
Well, Joey Whelan even said it in his pre-race interview. The win will take a course record. I mean, based on the field we've got, the day we've got, it's going to take a course record to win this race. And they're 4 minutes faster than the course record right now. But it's starting to be a little bit, it's interesting where this early in the marathon that Alicia Barno is already starting to gesture to Joey Whelan to help, with the pace, even though Griffin Neal is doing the pacing for both of them. But he's about to pull off when they hit the 11-mile mark. He will take a turn and they will go and they will diverge, the half marathon and the marathon. Now we're back with Kellen Taylor, our leading woman, and she's conversing with one of the guys she's running with. And she's only running, 6 minute per mile pace, which is 2:37 marathon. She's a 2:24 woman at her best. So this is pretty easy pickings for her right now.
It is, and she's got total control. She's got about a minute already, or maybe 90 seconds by the time she hits 15K over Sarah Jackson, and probably a couple minutes over Joy Jiang. So this is going to be the Kellen Taylor show. As you see there, she's running right next to bib number 35183. They're talking. They're just hanging out. They're enjoying in the morning and in the nice weather, and she does not look stressed at all.
Bradley McAvoy, defending champion, is 48:50 at 15 kilometers. which means he is essentially 2 minutes and 25 seconds behind our two leaders, Barno and Whelan. Bernard Rotich, the training partner of Barno, is in 4th place, and he is at 49.25, which is another 35 seconds behind Bradley McAvoy. And again, Justin Botello is in 7th position at 51 minutes and 25 seconds, running with Hensgen. Lowell Hensgen, who is, those guys ran together at the 3M Half Marathon January 18th.
They did. And as you kind of look here, our 5th place woman right now at 10K was Kareth Arnold, who actually is married to a high school friend of mine, Derek Brinks. And so Kareth Arnold is a trail runner. We did get to sit down with her yesterday, and in just a moment we'll show that as we see this beautiful clip of everybody going over this Congress Avenue Bridge, obviously famous for where the bats come out at night all summer, spring, summer, and almost fall, and sometimes it feels like winter these days. These bats migrate from Mexico and they sit under this bridge, and that bridge is absolutely popping with people. And we are going to take it to Drew Butler and Kareth Arnold, who had a nice sit down yesterday. Kareth sitting in 5th place right now.
I am here, 35th Austin Marathon, Half Marathon. I'm with Kareth Arnold, coming live from Colorado. How did you decide on Austin, and which race are you doing tomorrow?
I spend a lot of time in Austin. My in-laws live here.
Okay, good deal.
Yeah, so it's like a second home almost.
Okay.
And I'm doing full tomorrow.
Awesome. So, coming down, are you altitude Colorado?
I'm about 6,000-ish feet, so not super high, but most people would consider that altitude.
So what are your expectations? It's a really tough course. I mean, you spend some time here, so you know what it's like running here, but you come from tough terrain. Like, what are you trying to do in the race tomorrow?
I am trying to just run my best. I am primarily a trail runner. That's my primary sport. So I love to run. I like the fact that it is a hilly course because that just adds to the challenge of the marathon and also contributes to my overall fitness when I start my trail season. So, yeah.
So this kind of cues you up for your trail season.
It does.
If you had like one thing that you could count on that's a difference between those two, what would be like the one thing you'd tell someone is a big difference between running a marathon and running like super long distance trail race?
Is consistent speed
Yeah.
and pace. Yeah. That is always something that, you know, it's challenging for me, especially to just maintain and try to lock into a particular pace for a good amount of time.
Yeah, I can see that. Well, all the best tomorrow. We look forward to seeing you out there. I'll see you at the finish line. I won't have been exercising, but we'll look forward to seeing you and celebrating a good run tomorrow.
Sure.
Best of luck.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And we're back, and we can see Kellen Taylor, who is about to make the turn onto Enfield here. And again, we saw the men hit their 10-mile mark, and there's a slight uphill here, and then it's rolling, and it's a lot of fun. Kellen obviously probably looking forward to drinking a Meanwhile beer right after this race. We're going to take it to a commercial with Meanwhile right now. And at 10 miles, you see there, for those of you just tuning in, Alicia Barno, Joey Whelan.
The pacing is not correct, but notwithstanding that, that's the order of the first five. The two men are Alicia Barno and Joe Whelan are running under 2:11 pace. They're running a high 2:10, and again, we're just about to have the divergence between the half marathoner Griffin Neal in the red and our two marathoners. And then it'll be interesting to see how much longer Alicia Barno wants to just now be the front runner and let Joey Whelan just sit on him.
Yep, and one of our pre-race favorites was Bernard Rotich, who we did get to sit down with yesterday. He's sitting in 4th place right now. We're going to have Alonzo Rodriguez tune in with his quick interview with Bernard Rotich.
I'm here with 2:10 marathoner Bernard Rodich. Bernard, how are you feeling going into tomorrow's race?
I'm feeling good. I'm ready. I prepared for it, and I'm ready.
57:40 is fixed for Jackson.
Awesome. What is your strategy going into tomorrow?
I have my teammate whom I will work together with him tomorrow, so that we can see if we can bring a course record. Yeah.
And I know you said you're bringing your teammate. Where are y'all training out of?
Sorry?
And where are y'all training currently?
Yeah. My training has been good. It's going on well, and I'm focusing specifically for this race.
And last, for all the viewers tomorrow, why should they be rooting for Bernard Rodich?
Sorry?
Or why should the viewers tomorrow be rooting for Bernard Rodich?
Yeah, because I've come and I have to run. I have to do my best. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Bernard, and we'll be rooting for you tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
You know, I'm a little bit surprised that Bernard didn't go with Elijah, because in speaking with Elijah, he basically said, I'd like to be able to help Bernard win the race. But Bernard never answered the call when it came time for racing in the first couple of miles.
No, I mean, even at 5K, he was already 30 seconds back. He was 5:12 pace through 5K and at 16:07 when they went through it.
Yeah, no, but Paris, it is give and day, isn't it? They go through 12 miles of 59:53 unofficially. You know, it's give and day. Some days you wake up and you're just flying, and it's just like your legs are telling you what to do. Most days you get up and you're pushing your sorry butt as far as you possibly can. And you never know what's going to be a good day and what's going to be a bad day. As now they are attacking another one of these small but steep little hills that got to go on this course.
This is West 15th, and as you can see here, Griffin Neal, he's about a minute or so away from pulling off and finishing the race on his own here. He has, really distanced himself and in some ways just disposed of David Fuentes in a very impressive fashion, because David Fuentes is a fantastic runner. I know David has two small newborns at home. You got a newborn at home, and then he's got Dylan, his older son. He's about 2 or 3 years old, and so he's probably not getting much sleep right now. But Griffin Neal, a young runner out of the University of Incarnate Ward, in the red singlet, right center screen. To the right of him is Alicia Barno, and to the left of him is Joey Whelan. And these three are kind of broken away, but remember, Alicia Barno and Joey Whelan are only running the full marathon.
Yeah, but look at this. Going down that hill, it's like Joey just a couple of steps behind Alicia Barno now, and that's, at these stages in races, you wouldn't be back there 2 strides if you wanted to be. I mean, this is not a choice. This is I can't.
It is. It looks like it's I can, but remember, Joey Whelan is the most experienced runner on this course out of anybody, and he has turned his training full time into running. He's dedicated his life to the sport as of the last year. He's just said hi to somebody.
No, he's telling the half marathoners to turn onto the right-hand side of the course because he knows the course. And essentially, Griffin Neal just missed the turnoff because you can see the 13.1 arrow behind him pointing to the right, and Griffin Neal is now saying, he says it all. Where am I? What am I doing? So he's now having to go back and take a turn. And now poor Alicia Barno. Oh, my God, Alicia Barno's going the wrong direction. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. And there it is. This is where course knowledge is just such an important thing. They didn't have people on the side of the course. They just had signs. There was nobody there telling them this is what you need to do. And you know how it is, Paris. When you're in the heat of competition, your mind is just your internal. You're not really paying an enormous amount of attention to such things like this. And for us on television or on the sidelines, it seems so obvious. But you're just locked into this pace and you're running right along. I mean, I remember back in 1994 at the New York City Marathon, Herman Silva from Mexico, he just followed the motorcycle as it turned off with less than a half mile to go because the motorcycle had been right for 24 straight miles. Well, fortunately, there was a cop there that told him, maybe this is not the turn you need to do. He turned back around and went back and caught Benjamin Paradis and won the race. But Alicia Barno has now just given up an enormous amount of territory to Joey Whelan because he didn't know the course. Griffin Neal didn't know the course, should have turned off. Joey knew everything. And now he's got himself this sort of lead because of that lack of course knowledge on both Griffin Neal and Alicia Barno.
And Griffin Neal, who was going to run something like 65 flat, probably just cost himself a whole minute and one of the faster finishing times in this of recent memory here in Austin Half. That was a kind of a catastrophic mistake. I don't really understand how that happened. And Alicia Barno now has no momentum.
It's easy to see happening. If you run races, again, you look at your watch and you can't figure out what the numbers mean.
Yep.
The point is you're in this different state of mind when you're you're racing. You're in this flow. And he was just following people. Now, he's not out of it.
No.
As long as he doesn't panic, he could just slowly try to draw Joey back in. He knows, I mean, I don't think Joey's trying to put a surge in to try to get any more, tempo out of himself to try to take advantage of this, because he knows that could come back and bite him in the butt as well. But Alicia Barno has now got at least one full city block that he's got to make up, which he previously did not lose to a competitive effort, just to a brain cramp.
Yeah, that was quite a scene, and Barno is slowly reeling Joey back in. Just to Tony's point, he is absolutely not out of it. But Joey saw what happened and immediately did ratchet up the pace a little bit. And he figured, this is a moment where I can maybe get a little bit of distance. I wasn't already feeling 100%, and it's quite a turn of events there, and we will. Catch Griffin Neal here at the finish. We're going to turn our cameras to the half marathon's finish and watch Griffin Neal motor down Congress Avenue.
I mean, Griffin Neal didn't know where he was going, missed the sign. There's the halfway mark, or the 13-mile mark, just over 1 hour, 5 minutes. And again, the course has turns, but Barno is not, Whelan is not out of sight. And that's an important distinction. But Barno's just got to take his time, try to draw him back slowly. He's got half a marathon to do so. And he's got all that experience behind him as a many-time race champion around the world. But Joey Whelan's got experience, a two-time champion on this course and a runner-up position in 2023. And coming off a 2:09.41 second-place finish at the California National Marathon, and he is in fine form.
And let's see if we can get that camera to the finish here of the men's half marathon, 65:51, and there you are, Griffin Neal. Wonderful way to kind of. I mean, David Fuentes is an excellent runner, so to turn that around and make sure that he locked up that victory in 66:05, probably lost a minute or almost a little bit more than that at the finish there, but very happy for Griffin. Congratulations, Griffin Neal, your 2026 Ascension Seton Men's Half Marathon winner, and a really nice turnaround there over the last half mile to reel that back in.
So to speak, ironically, the turnaround, because he went at least a block and a half too far. Joey Whelan finally got it through his head that, you missed your turnoff. You got to go back around. So he took that loop and looped back. And Alicia Barno, not knowing, completely flummoxed, he just followed, Griffin Neal when he should have stayed with Joey Whelan. And Joey put his hands out like, what can I do? I told you. And this is our conversation the other day. I know this course. And here David Fuentes now coming across in second place in the half marathon.
That is, he's given a little flex there. He's a father of two now. His newest child was just born, and his wife Amber just about a couple months ago. So he is 67 minutes on that course on this day. Not having much sleep recently is a very fine performance for your two-time Olympic trials qualifier and local Austin legend David Fuentes.
That turn cost 21 seconds. That was at halfway. It was Joey Whelan at 1:05.30, Alicia Barno 1:05.51. So it was a 21-second error.
And it actually looks like Joey has put a bigger distance here on Alicia Barno over the last little bit. I thought Elijah was slowly going to, reel him in, but it looks like Joey has decided that he's going to put the pressure down. We will get you a half marathon split in just a moment.
Oh, I just gave it to you, 1:05.30. 1:05.30 was the halfway split, so it's 2:11 exactly. 2:11 pace. Alicia Barno now in second place. And again, the distance on television looks closer than it is on the ground because of the dilation in the way the camera lenses work. So it looks always a little bit closer than it is on the ground, but 21 seconds, he's got to just hope that Joey comes off that pace a little bit and doesn't hold on. There's time, but he was right. They should be together.
They should be.
Not 21 seconds apart. But this is what happens. Your first job is to know the course. That's your job. You know, should there have been a marshal at that turn? Yes, there should have been. Was there? No, that I saw. Maybe there was. All I know is that there was a sign, but sometimes signs are not enough for people in racing flow. And it's all of a sudden, when Meb Keflezighi broke away in the 2014 Boston Marathon and took the lead, and the lead pack of these killers who were 3 or 4 minutes faster on paper let him go. After the race, when you talked to them, half of them didn't even know Meb was up there. They didn't even know because they weren't paying attention to him. They were paying attention to, Dennis Cometto, the world record holder, Wilson Chibet, one of the other favorites. It wasn't that they said, "Oh, there's Meb going, I'm not going to go with him." They didn't even realize he had gone.
Yep, and there's Kellen Taylor, who is absolutely just clipping miles along here. She looks great. She hit 15K. We went earlier, but we talked about this a little bit earlier, but she hit 15K in 55:58.
That's 2:37.40 pace. Certainly well within her range. And then Sarah Jackson was in second place, and she was almost 2 minutes behind. So Joey Zhang is in third place. Here's a look at Alicia Barno, second place in the men's race right now, 21 seconds behind our leader, Joey Whelan. Once again, there was a confusion at the divergence between the half marathon and the marathon. They run together for the first 11 miles. Then all of a sudden, the half marathoners are supposed to take a right-hand turn and go off and finish their race as the marathoners continue with their final 13.1 miles. And Griffin Neal, our leader in the half marathon, didn't see the sign to turn off. Joey Whelan finally let him know that you're on the marathon course, you're going wrong. And so he finally turned around, and Alicia Barno, the marathoner, for some reason thought that I should follow that guy rather than Joey Whelan. So he turned around, and then finally somebody told him, no, you're in the wrong position. You got to go back. And he lost over 20 seconds with that, that confusion. And now he's got to try to reel that 21 seconds back in. And that's the gap that you see on the screen right now at 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 10 seconds.
And while we wait to hear from Griffin Neal live with Drew Butler in just a couple of seconds here, we are going to take you to a commercial break with our presenting sponsor of your 2026 Austin Marathon, Ascension Seton. And in just a moment, we will head to a commercial. There is Alicia Barno. He looks fantastic.
Your health tomorrow depends on the care you choose today. At Ascension, Texas, our Seton, Providence, and Dell Children's Ministries deliver advanced, compassionate care from hospitals and clinics right in your backyard. We're proud to sponsor the 35th year of the Austin Marathon and support Austin staying healthy and active. Ascension Seton, caring for Texas families for over 120 years.
And there we are. You see Joey Whelan from Rochester, Buffalo area, New York. His wife Mona and their dog Basil are cheering loudly at home. Again, if you are just tuning in, Alicia Barno and Joey Whelan were neck and neck right at the 12.5 mile mark where the turn was for the half marathon. There was a little confusion, and Alicia Barno turned on accident, didn't realize that it wasn't his turn. He lost 200 or so meters to Joey. Joey ramped up the pressure, and now you have a scenario where Alicia is trying to slowly reel in Joey Whelan. This is going to be a tall task because Joey Whelan is hyper experienced on this course.
Just to know that Griffin Neal went on to win that half marathon in 66:04. David Fuentes, early leader, along with Griffin, finished second in 66:59. And Caleb Hershey finished third in 68:48. Now Joey's going through a part of the course where you're turning, and he, in my conversation with him the other day, he's saying, I know there's parts of this course where you can get away and hide. And that'd be an important thing, out of sight, out of mind. And if you can start making a number of turns and all of a sudden that guy makes a turn behind you and all of a sudden you're not there up that street, that can be discouraging. But we can see in the background that there's still Alicia Barno, the 41-year-old Kenyan, multiple-time champion in America, in Duluth, Minnesota, in the Twin Cities, and also in Los Angeles.
And they're running through Hyde Park right now, an old Austin historic neighborhood. They just north of campus. They went through University of Texas's campus. As you can see here, our best guess is, I don't know, maybe about 150 meters separating the two of them between Joseph Whelan and Alicia Barno. Our women's leader is Kellen Taylor, the Flagstaff native and heading to firefighter school here in a couple of weeks. And this is a beautiful part of the course. You'll see all these people in the neighborhood, neighbors getting out, watching the race, and that is something that is so special about this Austin Marathon course is how it winds through some of the city's best and most unique and eclectic neighborhoods. Joseph Whelan, your leader in 1:14:30 on the clock, and he's got less than an hour of running left to do, and our course record is 2:14:25. Sammy Rotich. So we are looking forward to seeing if Joseph and Alicia Barno can really attack that course record. And there you have it. Griffin Neal, 66 minutes. Fuentes a little bit behind him and just under 67 minutes. Caleb Hershey, 60. We heard from him earlier. Mitch Ammons, 69:25. Last year's champion. Oscar Acosta, 70 minutes. 1 hour, 10 minutes, 32 seconds. And again, our broadcast partner today, if you're watching at home, whether you're watching on FloTrack or YouTube, it is brought to you by the wonderful team here at FloTrack, L2 Productions, High Shot Cinematics. They've provided some unbelievable camera work. We are going to take it to a commercial in just a moment to hear what FloTrack has up their sleeve for this season.
Collegiate record, national records, world records. This season, they all stand to be broken. Every step, every drop of sweat, every kick to the finish line, nearly every high school state championship, collegiate. Nearly every high school state championship, collegiate indoor and outdoor track and field, world marathon majors, and the world's best in the Diamond League. From the next generation to the best in the world, the season unfolds here on FloTrack. You're a part of every moment. All season, all in, all here. Don't miss a moment. Lock in your annual subscription today.
And there it is, the 35th anniversary of the 2026 Ascension Seton Austin Marathon. Your men's half marathon champion this morning was Griffin Neal, and obviously was a part of quite a fun little set of fireworks there. We have Drew Butler live with Griffin Neal, your 2026 Ascension Seton Austin half marathon champion. Drew?
All right, I'm here with men's half winner Griffin Neal. Griffin, you just won your hometown half. What's it like to win a race in the city you live and train in?
Oh, it's great. I mean, number one motivation, seeing all my friends out there. I mean, I've been a rep for Adidas here for a while, so I've been lucky enough to meet a lot of really cool people, and everybody was yelling out there. The energy was so great. So definitely a home field advantage a little bit, but it felt great.
Man, you almost seem like you got the juice that you could go out there and keep running.
Oh, yeah.
So we got a gorgeous day for this race. I don't know if you've been out here before. It gets cold on some of these. How'd you feel today? How does this set you up for additional races as you go about the remainder of the year?
Yeah, it was great. This is actually the first half I've ever run, but I've heard it's like notoriously really cold here. But it was beautiful this morning. It was great. Got out here early, chilled, got to stretch, warm up, and I think it sets me up well, building my confidence a little bit before I start hopping on the track from now on.
So we had an awesome performance today. what's like one thing that you want to do to reward yourself afterwards? Do you have a go-to meal, a drink, a friend you want to see? What is it?
Oh, honestly, I just want to hang out with all my friends. Honestly, there's just so many cool people in this town. I just want to hit a cool down with a few of my buddies are running this race and fighting their own demons a little bit. So I just want to celebrate with them.
Well, congrats on the big win today.
Cool. Thank you.
And thank you. In just a minute here, we will also have your women's half marathon leader across the finish line. So we will try to get a live shot of that. It will probably be Mina Glenesk, Tatum Smith, or Catherine Deegan. They're all kind of just fighting there.
Kellen Taylor now. Here's our finish line at the Austin Half Marathon. We saw Kellen Taylor, who had passed 20K in 1:14.08 with a 3-minute lead on Sarah Jackson, our 2020 champion.
And we're going to send it back down to Drew, who is talking with David Fuentes, the new father of 2. And Drew, are you ready?
All right, second place finisher David Fuentes. This is not the first time I've talked to you down here. Give me a little bit of context. How many times have you done this race in its history? I know you've done different distances and stuff like that. Do you even know off the top of your own head?
I do not. I would say 2010 was my first race here at Austin. I believe I won. I've run it 4 times. I've won 3 times. 2015 was the last time I did it, 11 years ago. I won then as well, and I'm just so happy to be back. It's one of those you blink, and like here we are back at one of my favorite races in my favorite city, you know, and it's pretty surreal, you know. I've got a 2.5-year-old and a 3-month-old and a beautiful wife, and you know, it's who knew, you know.
So you mentioned to me just now that you're approaching the big 4-0. You've got a little one at home. You've been doing this race for a long time. What kind of keeps you going and keeps you motivated? Is it beautiful days like this and being in a town like this? What are some of the things that keep you focused when it's hard to get out the door?
You know, I've been competitively running for over 20 years now. 21 years, and you know, my faith has just grown and grown each year because, you know, there's so many highs and so many lows in running, you know, and it's so hard to get out the door. And, you know, and then I met my girlfriend, now wife, Amber Reed Fuentes, and it's just, she ran at Texas, and so we just have this innate passion for the sport, you know, and bettering ourselves and the people you meet along the way, you know, the friends and the loved ones. It's just, the city is great, and there's so many things. It's so hard to like wrap it into the 20 years. But yeah, I mean, each day it's hard to see. It's not getting any easier. It's getting earlier, I can tell you that. Gotta get back before the kids get up, you know.
You know, you said it really well, and it's succinct. It's people, right? There's something about the sport that gets in your bones, but it's that people that kind of keep you coming back. So what's next on the docket for the day? You got to get back before the kids are up?
Oh, they're actually out. We got them up early. You know, the running joke was the biggest goal is to get down here with 2 babies, get them up at 5 in the morning, and get down to the race start. I have accomplished my first goal, and the second goal was just to have fun and run strong. And, you know, the rest of the day, I think we'll all probably take a nap, hopefully. We're all probably pretty tired. And then just, you know, a big pancake breakfast, you know.
Love it, man. Congrats on a fantastic run.
Thank you so much.
And there it is, Mina Glenesk. In just under an hour and 20 minutes, your 2026 Ascension Seton Austin Half Marathon winner. Mina, great job there, right around 6:10 pace for your whole race. Fantastic confetti cannon, and there it is, the Champions Walk, and we'll get a little conversation with you and Drew here shortly, as you can kind of see everybody making their way. And there's Joey Whelan.
Joey Whelan passed 25K in 1:17.47, now with a 28-second margin on Alicia Barno. It was 21 seconds at the half marathon. 2.5 miles later, he's put on another 7 seconds.
And we're going to send it back down with Caleb Hershey and Drew Butler, who are live.
All right, third place, Caleb Hershey. Caleb, I talked to you yesterday. How did the before and the after go? You know, did the race meet your expectations? How'd you feel about your performance? Third place.
Look, I was a little disappointed with the time, but considering, I mean, the course was a lot tougher than I thought. There's a wind in the face for a lot of it, and I was solo most of the way home. So I'm really happy with how I fought through, and I think the guys who beat me are both really amazing runners. So yeah, looking back on where I finished and whatnot, it was a solid day out there, a good place to build from.
So often I hear this from people that, you know, maybe time expectations versus reality are different on this course. This is a racer's course. How does that differ, and how does that prepare you for your next competition? You know, you had to race today. Probably some of the splits went out the window. How does that prepare you for when you maybe get on more of a kind of a rabbited type track?
I think it does really good. I think it really helps with mental toughness, being alone for 7, 8, 9 miles near the end. You're feeling really bad. I think, yeah, that'll prepare me well for when I'm in a faster race on a faster course with a pack of guys. I think it'll make it a lot easier to roll a really good time.
Yeah, it definitely will set you up well. So you're a young buck, you know, you probably recover pretty well from this stuff, but like, what's one thing you need after the race to get you back in order?
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, a slushie, a gas station slushie will go a long way right now. So.
All right, third place, Caleb Hershey. Congrats on an awesome run, man.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks.
But gas station slushy.
Yeah, that is
the sacrifices one makes as a runner.
Only a college kid would be looking for a gas station slushy. As you see Joseph Whelan, again, as Tony mentioned just before the interview there, he put 7 seconds on him in the last 2.5 miles. This is not anywhere close to over. But you can tell by Joey's cadence and his strength and how he feels and how he knows the course that he looks really good. And we are going to send it down to Alonso Rodriguez for the first time all morning, who is going to give us some sights and sounds. What is going on down there, Alonso?
Alonso Rodriguez here. I am here at the finish line. And I do want to say, one of the keys to every good marathon is a goodie bag that you can be hyped about and a fun medal. So we're going to go see what's happening at the finish line. All righty, y'all got the bags here. What do we got?
We got chips and we got medals.
Oh, look at that. What do we got here? What do we got here? What do we got here? That is pretty. Austin, Texas, this is what you get when you finish the Austin Marathon.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Alonso. And what a beautiful shot here of Lake Austin Boulevard, Cesar Chavez, the Congress Bridge, as you see more and more women crossing this half marathon line. And we will check in live with Kellen Taylor, our women's leader. We'll see where she is at on the course. She's just about to hit the 15-mile mark. She did hit the half marathon in 78 minutes. And Kellen Taylor still right on that 2:37 pace, you know, half marathon, 13.1 miles in 78 minutes and 12 seconds. And we do have Drew Butler with Mitch Ammons, local legend Mitch Ammons. Drew?
Here with Mitch Ammons. Mitch, defending champ from last year, fourth today. Tell me about how it went.
It didn't go great. I kind of showed up this morning just wanting to have fun and enjoy this race because I love it, and I thought like maybe there'd be some like residual fitness from last year. Not so much the case, but I had a great time.
You mentioned to me, you know, expectations going in were tempered for you. How important is it to just show up, though?
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't like to show up unless they're in their best shape. I never want to be like that. I want to show up and enjoy the race, enjoy the city, because this is really, truly my favorite race. So yeah, I just was like, let's go. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, there's something that matters of just like being in the arena, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you told me you got a pretty fun afternoon planned. Tell me about that a little bit.
Yeah, so a couple of my good friends, they actually race Porsches on the Coda track. So as I was running it, I was thinking like, no matter what happens right now, I still am going to go race Porsches at Coda after this.
Well, I know that's got to be incredibly stressful for you, so we'll let you get to it. But congrats on another great performance, and thanks for being out here.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
And you heard from local legend Mitch Ament, who has quite an incredible story of overcoming addiction, and not having run in 10+ years, was in all kinds of rehab facilities, and now he's a 2:14 marathoner at CIM a couple months ago. I mean, he defending champion in the Austin half, 4th today. So what a turnaround, and what a way running inspires you.
Well, there's a saga after saga of how running has transformed lives. There's a great group out in Los Angeles, Skid Row Running Club, where guys who were literally on Skid Row, homeless, a local judge in Los Angeles, has helped resurrect these lives, and they all run the LA Marathon. It's extraordinary what it can do for you. It installs so much confidence in what you're capable of doing. Kellen Taylor is in the lead, has been in the lead since the get-go here at the 2026 Ascension Seton Austin Marathon. She passed the halfway mark in 1 hour, 18 minutes, and 13 seconds. She's a 2:24 runner at her best from back in Grandma's in 2018, but she's on course to run a victory here in Austin. But right now, let's go down to the finish line. Drew's got another interview.
All right, I've got the pleasure of being here with Mina Glenesk. Mina, women's half marathon champ, hometown race. How does that feel?
It feels kind of crazy. I never expected to kind of come out here and win it, because I know there's normally some pretty tough competition, but it's really fun, especially being from Austin here.
So you say you didn't expect to do it. What were your expectations today, and how good does it feel to have exceeded them?
I was going for under 120, which I just made, but I kind of just wanted to kind of run my own race, not really pay too much attention to what was going on around me, and then it just so happened to be a win.
So I didn't even see this earlier. I know a little bit about your shirt you're wearing, Purple Dragon. So tell me about that community and that run group. I'm assuming you train with them, and that's why you're wearing the kit today?
Yes. No, so I train with Purple Dragons, and it's a great community. They're the ones who kind of got me, I think, to this level and into running this much. So it's great to, especially Saturdays, have that long run group that really pushes you, and then weekly workouts that we do together, and it's definitely something I couldn't do alone. So, and then having them out here on the course and running and cheering is just really special.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So where does this set you up for your next competition? Where do you go from here?
So I'm planning on Eugene in April, so for the marathon there. So this was kind of a nice little tune-up, start of the training block race, and kind of see where I am.
Well, congrats, being a great race today.
Thank you so much.
And there you see Kellen Taylor. She is actually running alongside Pascal Pfeiffer, who obviously also running the full marathon. But the point here is she should have a number of men to kind of be alongside, so she's not totally by herself as she tackles the second half of this course.
She's got a 3-minute and 30-second lead. On second place, Sarah Jackson is a former champion here in 2020. Joy Zhang is in third place right now in the standings as the women are past the halfway point. Joy Zhang passed halfway in 1:23:37 in third position. And again, in looking over the interviews before the race, I was just saying some of these people are just extraordinary, and Joy maybe tops that list.
She may be. We're going to send it down to Drew. We will hear from Joy in just a little bit here, but we're going to send it down to Drew, who's got our second place in the 2026 Ascension Seton Half Marathon.
All right, women's half marathon second place finisher, Tatum Smith. You're here from Salt Lake. First and foremost, how'd you choose Austin, and what'd you think of the race?
Yeah, well, I chose Austin because my little brother is running his first marathon, and so I wanted to come cheer him on, but I figured if I'm here, I might as well run something, so that's why I chose this race. I can't remember the second question you asked, but how did I think of the course?
Yeah.
It was fun. The thing that stands out to me is just the support along the course. There were so many people cheering. The hills, definitely, I knew it was going to be hilly, but I wasn't expecting it to hurt that bad, but it was fun.
So your brother surely has to buy lunch or dinner or whatever after this, after you got second place. So today you go and you compete here in Austin. How does this set you up for races further down the line?
Yeah, well, right now I'm training for Boston, so this was just to kind of get a fitness check on where I'm at, and I'm definitely very pleased with how this race went, so I'm excited to tear it up in Boston next.
Well, fantastic effort. All the best in Boston.
Thank you so much.
Whelan just making the turn there on Weberville, and so he's about to start tackling the east side of the course. They are obviously at about an hour and 24 minutes into this race.
And Alicia Barno in second place is around 30 seconds back. He lost 21 seconds at a ill-timed decision to turn at the halfway point to go with Griffin Neal, the half marathon leader, who missed the turnoff himself, and there was that terrible confusion. Alicia Barno made the turn, gave up some time, finally redirected, and by that time he had lost 20 seconds to Joey Whelan, who has been a two-time champion and knew where he was going, and that's where we're left today. But right now, back to Drew with another interview.
All right, third place women's half marathon finisher, Catherine Deegan. Catherine, you said you're in Boulder now, but you're from Texas. Where are you originally from in Texas, and what's it like to come back and run a race in the Lone Star State?
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm originally from the Dallas area, but lived in Austin for about 7 years. Went to school at UT, so I like to come back every year and run the Austin Half just to see friends, just for the community. But been in Colorado the last year and a half.
So you speak a little bit more to that community. You ran here at UT. Austin, I feel like, has one of the most special fitness communities in the country. Can you kind of talk about how unique it is compared to some of the other places you've been?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a great community in Austin. I really got into running in college. I didn't run in high school or anything, but I joined a running club at UT, so very casual group. People ranged from like cross-country runners to super casual runners, so I got a lot of, the community was really got me into the sport, and then kind of kept me in it. And Boulder has a really strong running community too, so it's been a good way to meet new friends as I moved up there.
So you go from club runner to getting third place in a serious race. There's a ton of people out there today. Talk a little bit about that journey of just kind of falling in love with running and then getting really good at it.
Yeah, I mean, it really was that. Like I said, the community really drew me into the sport, and then I really loved it and just kind of kept running more and more. Gradually, definitely I eased into it and gradually built my mileage up, but I started to get faster and I started really competing, so I ended up here. But
well, congrats on a great run today. Third place is awesome.
Thank you.
Well done.
Origin story. Isn't that? That's a great origin story.
It is, and there you see Kellen Taylor, and we are going to send it back down to Alonso Rodriguez, I think he's got a Red Bull, which is something I could use right now.
Me too.
Alonso here with Layla and Alexa of Red Bull, the official energy drink of the Austin Marathon. Layla, can you tell me a little bit about the Red Bull Wings for Life worldwide run?
Yes, I can. So basically, Wings for Life is a charity that we are really close partners with. We are with them because they help support spinal cord injury research. And so essentially what the whole project is we raise money, people will donate, the whole entire world will start at the exact same time, and they're going to run, and we're going to start over here in Texas. We start at 5 a.m. and we all run, and all the money goes straight to charity, and Red Bull's CEO will match the money exactly, and it all goes to spinal cord research and spinal cord injuries.
Alexa, for the 30,000 people running this event today and all the spectators watching at home, how can they get involved?
Yeah, so if you're interested in signing up for Wings for Life, you can just go on Google and search up wingsforlife.com. It's $28 to enter, but 100% of those proceeds go directly towards the research. And then you get your bib number on there, and whenever it's race day, May 10th, you just run wherever you want. You can also walk it, you can stroll it, and yeah, you just raise money and run for those who can't.
Amazing initiative. Thanks, y'all.
And there you have it. 3,300 runners are about to take to the streets of Austin, Texas, right there at the start line. They are running the 5K. It is sold out. It is so sold out that even some of the people behind this production, like Ryan Fenton, was trying to get into the race and had trouble himself. That is how at capacity this 5K is, and it is obviously just an absolutely perfect morning. I don't see much wind out there. It is 58 degrees. There's almost no humidity. It is a perfect morning to kick off your 2026 Ascension Seton 5K as a part of this half marathon and marathon weekend. An hour and 37 minutes on the clock there as you see Joey Whelan winding his way He's about to hit mile 19 in just a moment here. We will get a split. He's at 1 hour and 37 minutes. For those keeping track at home, he has slowed down a tiny bit between the half and 25K, but he's still clipping off 5:04 pace. And I know Mona, his wife, and Basil at home are probably yelling at the TV because that course record is still very much in reach. And speaking of yelling at the TV and being excited, my fiance, I get married next month, and my dog Izzo are also yelling at the TV. Very excited to watch all these runners. They got to watch Griffin Neal and Alicia Barno and Joey Whelan right there at the 12.5 mile mark when this kind of thing blew open, and Joey Whelan went from, tucking in the back there to putting 30 seconds on Alicia Barno as they cross over here on this next bridge, and they're clearly on the east side of Austin. They will go by the East Side Beer Runners and Central Machine Works cheer station in just about a mile or so. You get a beautiful view from that high shot cinematics of Alicia Barno, 6-time half marathon champion marathon champion, and grandma's 2-time in Twin Cities. He's 41 years old. He's made all the rounds of the best races around the country. He's hyper accomplished, but obviously a little mistake there, and it has cost him 30 seconds on Joey Whelan, who is very, very experienced on this course. As your 5K takes off, and you'll see a bunch of 3,300 runners take to the streets here. We'll check in with Kellen Taylor live here in just a moment, our women's marathon leader. But before we do that, we are going to send it down to Drew Butler, who's got Ascension Seton's head of orthopedics, Adam Bowman.
It's my treat to be here with Adam Bauman. Adam, you are with Ascension Seton, the title sponsor of the Austin Marathon. You guys are back yet again. What keeps you guys coming back and continuing to support this great Austin Marathon event?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's the Austin community. If you look at just what this marathon represents, the full, the half, the 5K, just the community of just being active in Austin. What we want to do as a healthcare system is not only promote you when you're sick, but also be there when you're healthy and promote these kind of programs. But just what a unique opportunity. So we're just really honored and proud to be the title sponsor, and we're looking to continue this for the very long foreseeable future.
So you told me a little bit about how you guys are specifically getting involved. You kind of had a test group, if you will, out there today. Tell us a little bit about the program you have going today with the Austin Marathon.
Yeah, great. Thank you. So first of all, we're the largest orthopedic sports medicine provider in Central Texas. And we've got it from orthopedics, sports medicine, primary care sports medicine. Any joint you hurt, we can fix it. But also something we just launched this weekend is with our cardiac sports science program. Dr. Ryan Quinn, cardiologist, just a phenomenal talent, but we made major investments in VO2 max technology. And what that enables people to do is really test lung capacity and what their fitness level is. And clear fitness or elite athletes really use that technology. But what we want to be able to do is bring that to the common person that just wants to be healthy, to the avid runner, the occasional runner, or someone that's just starting a healthcare journey to make themselves healthier. We now have technology to give them a baseline. We're really excited about that, so excited to get that going.
So y'all are just continually, year over year, I've talked to you a bunch of times about your investments you make in this community. You said you got the partnership going for a long time. What are some of the future plans or some of the things that Ascension Seton's excited about bringing to Central Texas and Austin?
Yeah, well, specific to the marathon, I was talking to the High Five team, and as we look to the future of what we want to do for the city, especially as the future convention center opens up, is we're actually going to turn it into an expo from a wellness perspective and really leverage our clinical experts, whether that's how to avoid injury or how to work out with injury. So we'll do a lot in that space from an education perspective. From a service line, clearly with our orthopedics programs, our cardiovascular, we're opening up our new women's hospital actually in 2 months. Really excited about that and just how we're going to really double down on women's health, whether it's having a baby or as a female, just how we're going to continue to elevate the care. So we're just really honored and excited to continue to expand our presence.
Well, always a treat talking to you. Events like this don't happen without folks like y'all being involved, so really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
And here's our leader, Joey Whelan, the 2017 and 2018 champion, who finished second in 2023, coming off a iron deficiency in 2025 when he finished in 6th position, but is really in top form right now. He is leading Alicia Barno by about 30 seconds to head toward 30 kilometers. Let's take a break. When we return, we'll have the 30K split and update you on the women's side as well.
Sarah Benzino, Brandon Coley, Jablonski Auto Body, LLC.
Yeah! Woo!
What'd she call Harper?
Oh, you mean Jablonski Auto Body, LLC.
We actually sold the twins naming rights.
You know, like stadiums do. Kids are so expensive these days. Here he comes.
Oasis Breeze Tan and Spa.
Yeah! If you need a tan, I'm your man. Could do business with you.
Or we can look at some investment options for you.
Works for us.
The right money moves aren't as absurd as you think.
What fulfills potential? It's not the glory, the finish lines, the accolades. It's the promise to never stop. A commitment to the journey. Putting belief in front of ability, whatever it takes. We are here to remind you, there is more to your potential. Fuel it.
I lost a bet. I wagered with my marketing team that if they could hit 60,000 followers on Instagram, get 10,000 new followers in 2 weeks, I would run a full marathon in a strawberry jumpsuit. And they got 10,000.
And I believe we will eventually see Mr. Good himself. I think he's wearing the jelly and jam costume as he runs the full marathon today. And I did have that excellent peanut butter and jelly this morning. We're going to send it down to Alonzo, who is with the San Antonio Spurs. The San Antonio Spurs were also the title sponsor of the half marathon here just a few weeks ago. And Alonzo?
Alonzo here with Luke of the San Antonio Spurs. Luke, Austin Marathon Weekend brings so much energy into the city. What made this the right moment for the Spurs to come in town this week?
What an incredible opportunity it is to be a part not only of San Antonio, but to come all the way up here down I-35 for this marathon. We're coming right off the back of actually hosting the Spurs International Half and continuing that momentum. Showing up in this fitness community and being here for the city of Austin is something that we've wanted to do and continue to do going forward.
The I-35 series is all about kind of bringing together Central Texas fans, people from San Marcos, New Braunfels, Austin, San Antonio. What should the city of Austin expect from the Spurs this weekend?
Yeah, you nailed it. We're actually starting Spurs Week right now, so there's going to be events all throughout the city. You'll have to come check it out. But this weekend, you just said it, on Thursday and Saturday, we're going to be actually playing here at the Moody Center. We're going to be playing against the Suns and the Kings on the 19th and 21st. So lots of great energy, and we hope to see people out there.
Go Spurs, go.
Go Spurs, go.
Back to you.
Thanks, Alonzo. And Luke from the San Antonio Spurs, I hope everyone watching at home gets some tickets for the Moody Center. It is a very electric and beautiful venue to play some professional NBA basketball in. As Joey Whelan, it kind of just maintained his lead over Alicia Barno. Again, a beautiful shot of Alicia Barno there in the Runner's Depot singlet. But Joey Whelan, your two-time champion here. He's proposed on this very course. He's gone all in on running. He led for 41K at CIM, the California International Marathon, in December, and now he's back in Austin and just trying to apply as much pressure as he possibly can to Alicia Barno. And I think Tony has some splits for us.
Well, no, I'm just saying, I was looking back at the women overall, and Kellen Taylor at 25K had a 5-minute lead on Sarah Jackson, who had a 2-minute lead on Joy Jiang. And Emily Sharp was in 4th place, another 4 minutes behind. So the women are well spaced, whereas we still have a race on the men's side in the full marathon. But ever since that mistake at halfway where Alicia Barno made a wrong turn and followed the half marathon champion Griffin Neal for a short period of time before he realized his error and he came back, he has not been able to cut into that lead that he lost by that wrong turn. And so Joey Whelan initially had a 21-second advantage slightly after that at the half marathon point. Is a 28-second lead at 25K, and they are just getting very close now to the 30-kilometer mark. They're not quite there yet, but we'll see if that lead has grown or shrunk. But just visually, it doesn't look like he's cut into that lead whatsoever.
It does not, and I think if we can get back on Kellen Taylor, our women's leader, she just went by Truett Haynes, and Tony and I, you'll see Truett a little bit in the back there. He's got some jeans on in the four shot there. Tony and I had a hyper-viral moment last year.
I remember him, yeah, sure.
As our women's marathon leader passed Truett. Truett is going to run this marathon in jeans. He's probably going to run something like 240, 242, which is maybe just as impressive as anybody finishing the race. It is insane.
Oh, he's a very impressive athlete. He just wearing the wrong technical gear.
Or I think in his mind, he's wearing the right technical gear, which is I think for almost any other runners, pretty crazy.
The chafe factor could be enormous in a pair of jeans, but obviously he has found a way of either lubricating his way around that or calloused his way around that.
And
whichever, but yeah, he's doing a great job as always.
And there's a beautiful shot of just a bluebird day here in Austin, Texas for your 35th version of this Ascension Seton Austin Marathon. We are so thankful for all of our partners, Good, Meanwhile Beer, Austin Spurs, PNC Bank, Ascension Seton, every single person, including our production crew at L2 Productions, FloTrack, and High Shot Cinematics. We're providing these just stunning camera angles with the Capitol here in the backdrop. And as you see, all these half marathon finishers going to be well under 2 hours.
Well, we've got a 35K split on Joey Whelan. They missed the 30K. It's 1:49.08. And we are waiting to see how far back. There it is, 1:49.47. Yeah, so over that period, that's a 30, that's 39 seconds. So he's gone from 21 to 28 to 39, and slowly it's leaking away. Now, it would seem to me, based on these statistics and these splits, that Joey was going to at some point pull away from Elijah because he seemed stronger. But the point was that they were right together at halfway. And if it weren't for the wrong turn, they would have been together until Joey would have had to break him. Yeah, and it's a whole different matter when you're locked on to someone as opposed to all of a sudden just start stopping for 20 seconds, letting someone get a lead, and then you trying to go get him. And the look on Elijah's face is not one of confidence, like I'm going to run this guy down. No,
it's not. It's one of, can I make sure that I can be ahead of Bernard Rotish, my teammate, who's sitting in third right now, just long enough. We'll get a split here on Bernard in about a minute or two, but Alicia Barno is in this mental state right now where he is trying to figure out, do I have enough room left to attack? Do I feel good enough to attack and try to close this gap? Where am I versus third place? There's so many things going on in his head, and all just from one fatal mistake.
At halfway, and Joey Whelan, of course, he could close his eyes and get to the finish line because he's run this course so many times. 2 times champion, 1 second, 1 sixth, and 3 other times training on the course. So he knows it inside and out. And Elijah, obviously, it's his first time here in Austin because he wouldn't have made the mistake if he had been on the course before.
Yep.
So, he's just going to try psychologically to hold on as long as he can and just hope beyond hope that the guy in front of him fades a little bit. And if I could just maintain. You never give up hope. You never, ever, ever give up hope because it's never over. And your first opponent is the distance itself, not your other opponents. And then you have to contend with your own limitations. So it's a very intricate and complex mix of competitions that going on amongst athletes, with yourself, against the distance, as the half marathoners continue to flow across this finish line. But Joey Whelan, he looks like perfectly in his rhythm, just the way his mouth, essentially your carburetor, beautifully open, taking in oxygen. He has no look of distress in his form, on his face. He's not looking back to see where Barno is. He's just locked in and just maintaining that forward motion and looking very strong.
He is, and we will get a camera back on Kellen Taylor here so we can kind of track her progress through the course. But as Tony mentioned yesterday, we did get to sit down with Joy Jiang, who is, as Tony talked about earlier on the broadcast, so many of these runners are so impressive outside of their running. There is just not a ton of opportunities to run full time. And so we did get to sit down with Joy, who has a really remarkable academic and professional career.
I'm here with 246 marathoner Joy Jiang. Joy, you have an incredibly busy life that you're balancing with running. Can you tell me a little bit about what you're doing?
Happy to. So currently I'm an MD PhD student in my 7th year at the Icahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. So that means I've now finished my PhD actually just last year in artificial intelligence and emerging technologies, and now I'm rounding the bed with medical school. So I've now finished almost all my core rotations in medical school, which encompasses neurology, OB-GYN, psychiatry, surgery, internal medicine. And now I have just a few more requirements left, and then I apply to residency programs. So it's been a little bit busy outside of running, but I think both being in school as well as running provide a great balance for each other.
That's incredible. I know you've studied the course quite a bit. What's your plan going into tomorrow?
Yeah, I think the course is incredibly challenging, if I had to admit, but that doesn't mean that it can be run well. So after studying the course, I noticed that the elevation gain is around 900 to 1,000 feet in total. So that's about the same amount as the New York City Marathon course. So I've run that now 3 times, so I'm kind of anticipating that it's going to be kind of tough with the inclines, but something to anticipate. The first 4 miles, we're climbing around 200, 250 feet or so. So it's going to be a big effort. For me, I'll probably try to stay around my marathon pace, if not a little bit slower even. Like, I don't want to take it too hot out of the gate, burn up all the energy. I hope to just hopefully work with the rest of the elite women, those in the A corral, to see if we can push up those hills together. Thereafter, there's going to be a little bit of a reprieve. We're going to have some downhills, some rolling hills. I anticipate there being another big hill at mile 10 or 11, so definitely something to also watch out for. Thereafter, more rolling hills. And fortunately, I noticed that on the course, there's going to be a nice flat from mile 20 to around 25 or so. So that'll be kind of nice to settle into things while we're all hitting the wall. And then finally, there's one last little push, a little uphill entering mile 26, and that'll bring us home. I think it'll just be important to keep your mind in the game, especially when it's so flat towards the latter half of the course, but stay in it and try to push through to the finish.
That is an incredible rundown of the course. I Google every race that I run.
Yeah.
And I'm always just looking for commentary that is exactly that, and that's amazing. So.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah. If anything, before I wouldn't even look at the course map because I kind of wanted to be surprised. I didn't want to anticipate these areas where I know I'm going to have to work hard, but this has only helped me in the past to actually know exactly where the hills are so I can save my energy accordingly.
So lastly, one of the other things that just kind of really blew my mind is you started at you were running a 46-minute 5K.
Oh, yeah.
You've now become a 246 marathoner.
Yeah.
You're a 121 half marathoner. What has led to such a huge jump?
Yeah. And, I think that for me, what has really helped me is being able to keep running through the years. I've been really fortunate to have that opportunity where I started off maybe when I was 9 years old running a 46-minute 5K, and was super, super happy about that time. But then when I started cross country in high school, ran 21 minutes to 22 minutes. I think I just had such a supportive community of coaches and women specifically who told me to keep going with it. And so I ran in college on the club team and continued running thereafter, especially through grad school. And I think part of that is now I've been running for, I think, close to 13 years or so. So it's truly been amazing to watch myself be able to slowly take down my time over the years. So I think that's my secret sauce. I think it's just persistence and consistency and trying to find time for running no matter what happens in life.
Awesome. Well, Joy, we'll be rooting for you tomorrow.
And there you go. There is Kellen Taylor live on that screen there. And Kellen looks fantastic. Just hit the 20-mile mark at 1 hour and 57 minutes and 15 seconds or so. And there's Kellen Taylor again. from Flagstaff. Just got a couple marathons left before she decides to head to the firefighter academy there in Flagstaff, a lifelong dream of hers, something that she's been really passionate about. And Joey Whelan, your men's marathon leader, 35K in an hour 49 minutes.
And we were talking about what an impressive person Joy Zhang was. Well, Kellen Taylor's a mother to 4, a 15, a 7, a 4, and a 3, and 2 of those were adopted from foster care, which was really quite hard and a messy process, they said, about 4 years ago, but it's one of the best things she ever did in her life. It reminds me very much of Ryan Hall and Sarah Hall, but there are 4 adopted Ethiopian children. So there's some just wonderful people in these running communities around the country.
Yeah, and what a great place to live and train, right in the mecca of all of the distance running. And so Kellen Taylor, taking the next step in her life to really serve her community.
Second place, Alicia Barno, looking like he's a little bit back on his stride a little bit now, not firing off on all cylinders. It doesn't look like it's going to be his day. The mistake at halfway, I think, was a problem, but I don't think it was going to be the main issue, because Joey Whelan up in front has extended his lead, and he looks just the same now as he did like 6, 7, 8 miles ago, where Alicia Barno's stride has begun to deteriorate.
Yep, and you can see here on the east side of the course as they're coming down Cesar Chavez in Taro, one of the finest Italian restaurants in the city. Joey Whelan, obviously got a 40-second lead officially at 35K. That's been 10 minutes ago. He's probably put another 10 or so seconds on Barno. This is where Joey's experience, he knows about the last hill. He knows how the finish is going to go. This is where his experience is really, really going to chime in. And we're going to send it down to Alonzo here before we catch Joey's finish. Alonzo is with Audie Perez of Fleet Feet Austin.
Alonzo here with Audie Perez of Fleet Feet. Audie, one of the best things about Fleet Feet is just how, honestly, you guys create a home running store. Whenever I think about where I want to go get shoes, where I want to go get my gear, I think of Fleet Feet on Seahome. Can you tell me a little bit about kind of y'all's place in the community?
Thank you for that, Zoe. And we are the official running store of the Austin Marathon, so really grateful for the partnership with Jack and their entire team. They work really hard. On our end, we're here at 6th and Congress for our Start Finish Line pop-up. And so part of that is our official gear that we have. We've made hats, we've done some custom stuff, some Austin-themed stuff, so we'll have a few items for sale here through the end of the day. Obviously congratulating all the runners, whether it be 5K, half, and full this morning. But it's gone, and we're getting to the end of the week, and it's been an incredible ride so far.
Word around the expo was the merch was fire. Would you mind showing the viewers at home a little bit of that merch?
Totally. We have a few of our hoodies and branded items here, as you can see. Men's, women's, unisex sizing stuff. Some of the official Ascension Seton Austin Marathon logoed items.
Try that one on.
Yeah, totally. Even our Run Austin Alter Ego hat is the same. So we partnered with Rabbit for a number of the apparel pieces this year, which we're really grateful for. And they were a big hit at the expo, like you had mentioned.
Well, I love the merch. Audie, appreciate it.
Great to see you. Thank you.
And in about 8 minutes or 9 minutes, we are going to see if Joey Whelan can hold it together to take down a course record here. Again, Sammy Rotich a couple years ago ran 2:14 on this course, and so we'll see if Joey can hold this thing together over the last mile and a half or almost 2 miles for him. But he looks so good, so strong.
Right, he said my mistake at California International in Sacramento was the straightaways. He couldn't hide. He couldn't really hide from Alicia Barno here either, because Elijah didn't get that far behind. But Joey just knew that he was in form. The only question with him was the cold and the snow back home in Webster, New York, was of such a degree that he had to do a lot of his hard workouts and his long runs actually on a treadmill. 17 miles at sub 5-minute pace on a treadmill. And he wondered about the pounding on the roads. But he said, I've got 34 marathons on my legs. 2 months ago I ran the California International, so I think I'm going to be okay. And I'm really, really in top form. And you can see that Alicia Barno has sort of settled into, he's not attacking anymore. He's playing out the distance and trying to just maintain his pace. He doesn't know it probably, but he's got, he's got 7 minutes on Bernard Rotich, his training partner, in third place behind him. So Joey Whalen's got 39 seconds at 35K, and that margin has slowly but gradually increased throughout the second half of this race. And now there's about 8 minutes left for Joey Whalen to be the first man to ever break 2:11 on this course in this event. Not only on this course, but on the old course as well.
Yeah, so he could set the old course was point to point, net downhill, started in North Austin, ended down here. Tony will remember it was a very famous, popular course for people to try to get the Olympic Trials qualifier because it was so, it was, probably pretty much the definition of his maximum the downhill distance
allowable,
to qualify.
Right. I think Mo Nazapov of Russia was at 2:11.14, I believe.
Yep.
Was the course record. So that's stood for a long, long period of time. And now Joey Whalen coming off at 2:9.41 at California International, which is another really fast course.
Yeah.
So Austin is not known for being a fast course. So if he can run within, if he can run in the 2:10s on this course, that's a statement race for him. And it's really going to justify him quitting his job. He was delivering oxygen, and it was an oxygen distribution, setting up oxygen systems for people in their homes. And after last year's race here in Austin, he decided, I'm 34 years old, 33 at the time. I've got a couple of years left to really give it a full-time effort. Should I do it? And his wife, a doctor, said, absolutely you should do it. So he quit his job, and he's put everything into his running, and look at the result. He's gone from being a 2:14 guy to a 2:9 guy, and now he's going to set a course record in the Austin Marathon as well.
And he said in his previous job he was running 60, maybe 70 miles a week.
Right, you can only do so much when you have a full-time job.
Yeah, it's even, the volume is the people he's racing against are running 110, 100 miles a week. They're running in big groups. They have huge communities. Right. They're all in the top training meccas. Joey is just, he's on his own. And so he said, look, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to run 110 miles a week. If I'm going to do it my way and within the confines of our situation.
Believe me, I've been to Kenya. I've been to where Alicia Barno and Bernard Rotich train. You go on a Thursday morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, and there might be 75 or 100 guys ready to do a 25K training run, including Olympians, major champions, world record holders, and guys in cutoff jeans and barefoot. Now, they all start and about 5 guys finish together as they ramp up the pace. But the bottom line is that's a huge flywheel. That's a huge wheel to join to help get yourself be better, as opposed to being by yourself and training all alone, not only just your regular everyday workouts, but your hard sessions. That's what makes it difficult when you don't have anyone to share your tempo runs, your track sessions, your hill sessions. And to be able to do it on your own is an enormous advantage. And Kellen Taylor knows that very well because she's part of that very deep and very close Flagstaff community with Stephanie and Ben Bruce. I mean, Flagstaff along with Boulder are just, they're just mammoth. I mean, these are the classic, iconic training centers in America, which are proven to just get yourself better. They're as close to being in Kenya as you can be in America.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see Joey, he's about to make a turn. He was at mile 24 a couple minutes ago. He's going to be he's going to hit mile 25 here in just a couple seconds, and then he will make an assault, or just a little bit past mile 25. He'll make an assault here on this course record. And the question is can he run in the 2:10s, and will he break 2:10? He's got 45 seconds, if not more, on Barno over here, who has, hat tip to Alicia Barno when he could have easily bowed out, and just said, I'm over it, I made a mistake. He has stuck in there really, really hard as Joey goes past mile 25 and 2:06.32, just a mile and a quarter left. Right, he's going to be somewhere on that 2:11 high, 2:12 low range, as long as he can hold this thing together.
He's right at 2:11 flat pace. Just 1:49.08 at 35K is 5 minutes flat.
Yep.
Pace, and that's 2:11.06. And he's got that, that really strong little hill that he's on right now, and that's going to scrub some time off of him. And I'm not sure he's going to sprint home, so he should be just over 2:11 pace. But it's still going to be like a 3-minute course record. As we look at the very brave Alicia Barno at age 41, still reaching podiums in major urban marathons in America. Never gave up the hunt, constantly kept himself in competition, hoping that Joey might falter a little bit. he didn't. And now the final hill on this course is over, and it's just a cruise down to the line. And the glory of being a champion for the 3rd time here in Austin.
Yes, and I know William Dyson, who used to be the elite director, helped with the elite fields when we got started, Tony. One of his first athletes he kind of brought into the fold here was Joey Whelan. So he is texting me live right now. He is very, very proud. He's very happy that, big fan of Joey, that Joey has come back over and over and over and really respected the High Five Events team and the whole team, Jack, Stacy, Dan, everybody, Megan and Emily, and the whole team has really welcomed Joey, and he's been a fantastic champion, not just of the race, but of the city and for the last, decade.
I've said for years that a sport has to be fortunate in who their champions become, because it's a meritocracy. You have to earn your place as champion. But some champions are in some ways better than others because they can really represent the event and the sport in a special way. And Joey Whelan is one of those who can really represent beautifully.
He can, and he is just, hammering down here. We're gonna follow him all the way until this finish, and then we'll kind of turn our attention to Kellen Taylor and the rest of this race. But Joey looks so good. He's on 6th Street. He probably wants a beer more than anything right now. There's all these iconic bars here.
He ran 105.30 for the first half. That's 2:11 flat pace at halfway, and his stride looks exactly the same as it does when he hit the halfway split.
It does, and he couldn't be any more relaxed, and he's got all of his wits about him, and he is just absolutely motoring down here as he turns off of 6th. He's about to hit a hill to kind of close this race out. Then he gets a screaming fast finish with the Capitol as a backdrop. So he knows every step of the way between here and the next 2.5 minutes. And Alicia Barno doing his best to keep, Joey within sights, but it's a tall task.
It is, and I think that both of them would admit it. I think Elijah would admit that even though he wished that wrong turn had not been made, that was not the difference in today's race.
It wasn't. Joey has just looked, he's the supreme athlete today. He just has looked worlds better than anybody else, anything else down there, and he's looking like he's having a ton of fun.
Yeah, Elijah's still a very top-notch athlete, but he's playing against a guy that's at least, he's 7 years his junior, and those 7 years mean something.
7 years as junior and finally all in on running
right
for the first time.
Exactly. So that's the other thing. It's not just that he's 34 years of old versus 41 years of age. It's just that he's finally doing the kind of training that matches anything Elijah's doing.
Yep, exactly. And just a wonderful shot from High Shot Cinematics here on their camera. These are some of the best visuals you'll ever see on a stream of or a coverage of a race. It is 62 degrees right now in Austin, Texas. Picture perfect weather. I don't see a single tree moving. We are in studio, but looks like there's no wind, and it is just a perfect morning. A little bit, but it looks pretty good out there.
Well, the times are indicative. I mean, you wouldn't run there. They said there's gusts up to 22 miles an hour with an 11 northwest wind. So it depends on, you could be downtown and be hidden from the breezes for a portion, and then you take a turn and it goes right in your face. We're just going to turn 211 right now as we see Joey nearing the final turn with this final little hill that he has to climb. But even there, his stride, his knees are high, his head's in perfect condition. When you climb hills, you want to have your head right at the same angle as the hill, essentially, and you're almost like you're pulling a rope. You're pulling yourself up that hill, and his stride does not look like it's diminished. He's still lifting quite nicely. He looks like, a matter of fact, we were talking about the cross-country skiers in Milan and Cortina at the Olympic Games, rather, and how amazingly they were running with skis up the snowy hill. I mean, they weren't skiing, they were literally running with skis on their feet.
They were, and I saw the viral videos. The guy was going under 6 minute pace up the hill. And you're right, that's exactly what Joey looks like right now. Just perfect form, he's not wincing, and he knows he's just got about 250 meters, 300 meters left at most of running before he can just turn his brain off and go enjoy a meanwhile beer.
This is a pretty little stiff hill there at the end, and it's not a friendly little thing, but it's part of what makes this a great race course.
It is, and this is why we get such good races and such good mano-a-mano matchups year after year here. because of course, and there they are. The East Side Beer Runners have this big cheer station. I just saw Michael Morris, and he is cheering on Kellen Taylor. Central Machine Works there. They got 26.2% off of beers all day long. It's one of the biggest after-party spots. I know the East Side Beer Runners and Carly Borman, and it puts in all this work to make that thing so powerful. It's 200-plus people out there. They're all having fun. The whole city of Austin is lit up, and obviously they're here to watch Kellen Taylor and Joey Whelan, Alicia Barno, Bernard Roach. We're here to watch some of the best athletes in the sport take on the Austin Marathon. And Joey Whelan, you can see him there with 150 meters to go. He's going to run maybe 2:13:30.
Michael Morris was in this race last year. He was very much in the hunt.
Yeah, he was.
Here it is. After a long, long battle with iron deficiency last year in a 6th place finish, we're seeing a champion for the 3rd time cross the line here in Austin. Joey Whelan, 2:13:20 unofficial.
What a performance out of Joey. I mean, the mental fortitude. He did the right thing and tried to help Griffin Neal and make the right turn. It cost Alicia Barno, but it tells you everything you need to know about Joey. He's one hell of a dude, and he's also one of the most ethical people out there. He didn't have to tell anybody anything, and he went out of his way to tell Griffin, hey, you need to turn. And that's a really, really classy thing to do, especially when you yourself are in the middle of a battle.
Exactly. He was trying to tell everyone this is the race course. Half marathoners take a right. You know, Elijah, you and me, go forward.
What a really gutsy finish there by Alicia Barno, who's going to finish second in somewhere around 2:14:30 or so. Second place with a little mishap, but that is, still an excellent performance and way to hang in there, Elijah.
And he's happy with his performance, you can tell. Second place in Austin 2026 after beginning his career in 2011. That's pretty amazing. What a long, distinguished career he's got.
6 times at Grandma's, 2 times in Twin Cities, second place in Austin. He's won LA. I mean, what a really, really nice thing to see him really tough it out and stick in there and give his best effort there as he crosses the finish line in second place. And we are a couple of minutes away from our 3rd place finisher crossing. But in the meantime, one of the things that we really like to, really spotlight on the broadcast is the power of the Austin running community and how special it is to so many people. We did get a chance to talk to Rachel Escobedo yesterday. We're going to, follow Kellen here for just a minute, and we will then kind of tune our attention while we get those interviews lined up with Rachel and Alonso Rodriguez. I'm going to send it down to this pre-race interview we did with Rachel Escobedo yesterday.
I'm here with Rachel Escobedo of Raw Running. Rachel, so tomorrow you'll be leading the cheer station. Can you tell me a little bit about the Raw Running cheer station and kind of what y'all bring to the table?
Absolutely. So the Raw Running cheer station, backed by Under Armour, Guinness Cocktails, Recovery Cocktails. We've got, honestly, a number of sponsors that I've all forgotten about, but we are there really to just bring the energy to the race. The thing that I love about the Austin Marathon is there's so much energy and love in this community, and it is never a dull time at that race. And so we are there at mile 10 to just bring so much energy to this race. As you go up a hill and you're feeling it, we are there to support and cheer. We've got a theme that's going to be Mardi Gras, so we will be showing out with lots of color, beads, energy, cannon bombs, so many things. We'll have drinks and booze if you want to take a shot halfway through, We're just there again to support anyone and everyone that is out racing.
Yeah. I've myself have run with Raw for the last 10 years, and I know just how special that group is, and just kind of the just the confidence that they give so many runners across the city and what they've done for the community as a whole. I know you have run this the Austin Half Marathon. Can you tell me what should runners expect at mile 10? What the uplift that the cheer station's bringing?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. I have run this course. This mile 10 comes right after you have a long, flat stretch on Lake Austin Boulevard. That can be sometimes a little tough as you turn a corner and you're met with, you know, it's not that big of a hill, but it is a big hill when you're, you know, at mile 10, a little tired. And then you start those Enfield rollers, the last 3 miles going into the end of the half. Really, again, the people that are here are just so supportive, and you know, everyone's just there to bring as much energy to life. And I've seen people in so much pain, but just like get a smile on their face and get that little boost of endorphins as like they go by, and we're popping confetti cannons, we're yelling at them, we got megaphones, we're like screaming in their faces, you know, but like, you can do this, you got this. Just truly, it's about just lifting other people up as well. And like, it's really just so fun to see so many people out there that are rooting for everyone. And that's kind of what our station is. Anyone is welcome to join us as well. Like, if you just want to spectate and you're not sure where, mile 10 is where to be. We're, you know, right off of Enfield, kind of in that Terrytown area. And I mean, it's a beautiful morning. We'll have food, we'll have drinks, we'll have posters to make signs. It's great.
Last thing, you said cocktail shots. What's going to be a fun reveal for tomorrow's?
So one thing that I have heard is there's going to be a little fireball fountain station. I know it burns a little bit, but it burns so good. You know, you need that little boost of energy to get you through.
On that note, we're excited to see you out there. Thank you.
Pleasure.
And we're back here live watching Kellen Taylor. For the last 20 years, she's been, you know, one of the top females marathoners in the United States. She's got 4 kids at home, as Tony talked about. And Kellen is just rolling. She's we saw Kelsey Bruce run 2:35 in 2022. We haven't seen anything faster since. Kellen has significantly dropped her pace. She's on 2:33 mid, 2:34 low.
Yeah, she's right at 35K. She was dead on.
Yeah.
2:33.
And so 7K left is, you know, a mile and a half or so. And so she's, you know, just absolutely flying 2:33, 2:30-ish pace. And we will see if Kellen can really make a run at this last little bit, and if she can get a course record here. Mile 24 there at 2:19.55.
I'm just trying to find, I'm just looking for all my past things if I can find what's the course record here. Now, she looks great. I mean, she went from 2:37 pace from early on in the first half of the race. Then all of a sudden you look at her splits, and all of a sudden you see it dialed down to 2:35. And now at 35 kilometers, she's dialed it back down to 2:33.
There Kellen goes. She's right by Bucket Sports Bar, a really fun little revived sports bar there on the east side. I'm sure, again, Kellen is ready for a Meanwhile beer here in just about, I don't know, maybe 12, 13 minutes. We will try to capture her crossing the finish line. She looks like she's totally in control as you see this overhead view of all these half marathon finishers, and you'll see a few men marathon finishers here shortly. We're waiting on Bernard Rotich to kind of cross the finish line, but I do have Drew Butler with your 2026 Ascension Seton Austin Marathon champion, and in just a second we're going to send it down to Drew. Are you ready? Drew?
Men's marathon winner, Joey Whalen. Joey, you were running on a treadmill before you got down here. You've just set the course record. I thought the coolest thing I saw you do just now was that outpouring of emotion that you had after the race. What was going through your mind at that point?
I mean, it's just wins don't come that often, and especially against some of the guys that were in the field. I mean, there's a guy that's run 2:07. Barno he's run a ton of races, and he has like his resume stacked. So just like to be able to beat guys like that, I mean, you got to celebrate it. You got to celebrate it all the time, anytime you can.
So one of the things you talked with me about yesterday was going all in on this, right? You've got a window to do this. You go all in. when you have a performance like you did today, how much does that validate the decisions that you and your family are making about going all in on your running and trying to squeeze every last drop out of the orange?
Yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, there's like, the margins are so slim in this sport, and I just want to do the best I can, and I don't want to look back in 10 years and say it could have been me. I could have done that. No, we're going to do that.
Man, I love the confidence, and clearly you've leveled up in the time that you've made this commitment. So when you say go all in, do you have specific goals with that? Like, do you have a stated goal that within the context of all these different races you're doing right now that you're trying to accomplish?
I mean, I like podium at races. I want to get top 10 in a major. I want to run a fast time. I'm going to Hamburg, Germany in like 9 weeks, I think it is, and I want to try to run under 209. So and that race is going to be a race that's set with pacers, and it's more of a time trial set. So I want to see how I fare running with people. And like a day like today was it was really good practice to try to just latch onto a group and just try to settle in and just do whatever they're doing, because that's what I'm going to have to do.
So for whatever reason, this race has been something that you've done incredibly well in. You know, you've had big moments in your life. You've won this race before. What is it about this course that just agrees with you, man? You really have put your stamp on the men's marathon at the Austin Marathon.
I mean, it's the first race that gave me a chance. When I was out of college, I took a couple of years off of competitive running. I tried to get into some smaller marathons, and I got rejected. And this was the first race that accepted me in the elite field, and I just really appreciate it. And it's just you come here to compete, and we train to compete, and people sometimes get lost in the training, and you need the race. It's important.
Hey, man, it makes a ton of sense. You were absolute freaking nails today. Congrats on a great run, and hope it sets you up for some awesome races in the future.
Going to Hamburg to see if he can break 209, and I'm telling you, if he could run the way he did today on a flat course with pacers where he just, again, he can just kind of close his mind off and get into that rhythm, I'm saying he's got a great shot at it. Because the weather's just going to get slightly better back home, and he can really do some of that training that he needs to do off that treadmill. And Kellen Taylor now, she's on 2:33 pace, and went back and looked. The event record is 2 hours, 30 minutes, and 40 seconds, set by Tatiana Borisova from Russia back in 2015. But when was the new course put into play?
2015, 16, right before High Five Events took it over. So Tatiana Borisova in 2004 actually ran 2:30.40.
Right.
And Mukmin Nasipov, the Russian, ran 2:11.14 on the old course.
Right.
But on this course, Kelsey Bruce has the record, 2:35.16. Sammy Rotich has the men's record, 2:14.23. He had it up until about 15 minutes ago when Joseph Whelan ran 2:13, 2018. Fantastic performance out of him. He takes the course record by about a minute. We are on course record watch officially for Kellen Taylor. She's got to break 2:35.16 to set the course record. And that shows you that, if Kellen Taylor can still set course records anywhere in the country, that she's still got a lot left in the tank, as you can see there. We will get it back to Kellen and watch her finish, but we are going to send it down to Drew Butler, who's got Sylvester and Alicia Barno down there.
All right, I'm with Sylvester Ocampo and second place finisher Alicia Barno. Sounds like you guys had a little mishap today on the course. Tell me a little bit about what happened.
Umekuwa namba 2 lakini umekuwa na shida kwa course. Ni nini ilifanyika? Wewe tu ongea Kiswahili alafu nitamwambia.
Si ni vile tu nilipotea, alafu course iko na challenge mingi. Course iko na challenges, yani kona na hiyo milima, mteremko na upepo, kuna upepo kiasi.
Yeah, they were together with the winner, and then halfway they got lost. They followed the half marathon guys. And then tried to catch up, coming back, realizing this is a half marathon. Coming back, he saw the winner ahead, and he thought he would catch up with him, but with this windy and the hilly, he could not make it. Yeah.
Well, it's an unfortunate thing that happens, but you've got such an impressive resume. You've won so many races before. What do you take from this, even with a mishap in the race? What are some of the positives you can take from this performance to move forward?
Sasa ni vile uko na experience, umekimbia mbio mingi, na hii kupotea imekufundisha nini?
So unajua ni ngumu because chase number ilikuwa kala moja kwanza yote. Hapo sasa ungejua mtu ya half ni gani. Unajua races mingi yenye huwa tunakimbia kama tukimbia na watu ya half, chase number yao tofauti. Unakuta maybe in red, si kama hii. So vile tulienda nikajua wote ni marathon.
Yeah, he has, as you said, he's very experienced and he has won many big races in Los Angeles, Twin Cities, Grand Mass and all those. The challenge with this one though was that the people number were the same color. The half marathon and full marathon, they had the same color. Most races, they have for the half marathon a different color and the full marathon different color. So they could know while on the course, oh, this guy is for the half, so he would keep up with the full marathon.
Well, it's unfortunate when that happens. So tell me a little bit about moving forward, what your next competition is going to be.
Sasa umwambia race ingine ni gani itakuwa.
Maybe Grand Mass, nenda kuprepare kwa Grand Mass marathon.
Yeah, his course, actually I'm his manager, and so his next race could be Grand Mass Marathon. He's going to defend the
Trying to go for lucky number 7. Well, hey, all the best. Fantastic effort today, and thank you for coming out to the Austin Marathon.
Yeah, thank you so much. He appreciates, and he will come back.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're going to get a live finish here of Kellen Taylor. She's about to labor up the final little incline here as she is going to attack this course record. 2:29 on the clock. She's got to finish in under 2:35.16 is her. That's how you set a course record.
And just like Joey Whalen, her stride looks exactly the same as it did 13 miles ago. And she's looked strong. Look at her posture, look at her head, look at her back. I mean, everything is planing forward. There's no corruption in that form whatsoever. She's well within herself. She knew that she was in fine form, but she just hadn't raced in over a year. Or nearly a year, and it certainly hadn't been a marathon in over a year. So she's really going to be pleased with this performance. And then she'll put one more under her belt before she finally goes to the Firefighters Academy. And are they going to be impressed with what they get on their force when she shows up?
They will, and I wonder, what part of Kellen wonders, do I actually still have a little bit left in the tank here? I mean, any course record of any type anywhere in this country is impressive. So to see, I mean, I'm sure she's made her decision, but it's got to feel pretty good knowing you're going out on top here.
Well, especially the way she's done it. I mean, she ran into this course record if she can finally close it out, but she's certainly going to do the victory well in hand. But she started off conservatively. That's a smart racer. That's a veteran. That's a professional. She knew exactly that you don't go attack this thing. I haven't run a marathon, in over a year, and I haven't run a race in nearly a year. So as Joey was saying, it's one thing to train. It's another thing to race, and you've got to race. But if you're just coming back from injury, and you need to get yourself back in order, you gradually put yourself in that position. And the way the lack of competition in many ways played into Kellen's hands as well. She wasn't dictated to by competition. She could play this out on her own terms, and she did it beautifully.
And she did. She found a guy, latched onto the next guy. We saw Truett Haynes earlier in the broadcast. She was with him for a little bit. We saw Pascal Pfeiffer, another guy she ran with for a few miles. She just kept finding guys, moving up, finding the next person, latching on. And, when you're Kellen Taylor, that is something that it comes with all these years of experience, knowing that, hey, all I have to do is find the next guy, latch on, move up slowly, and I can negative split this thing, which is, obviously the way everybody wants to run a marathon. She's actually running the marathon that way.
Oh, very smart. Of course, I mean, she's got her coaches, Ben Bruce, training partners, Stephanie Bruce, and others. I mean, like one of the first families of the Flagstaff area, and they're just so experienced and so knowledgeable about the sport. Kellen at age 39, she's run New York at least a half a dozen times, always in the top 10. So she knows what big-time competition feels like. She's been at the highest levels of a 6th at the Olympic trials over 10,000 meters. She's had a fabulous career, and this is really going to be an important race. She hasn't won that many races. She won Grandma's, I think, back in 2018, and that was her PR at 2:24.29. So she gets in these really big major races, so she's not in a position to win. So here she comes to Austin, and she's going to put another victory on her resume, which is very important.
It is, and you can see her here. She is about to just see the Capitol in the backdrop, and that's, a quarter mile left of running, about a minute. She's at 2:32.25 officially on the clock, so she's going to be really close. Mile 26, quarter mile left of running. She's got to run in under 3 minutes. By all accounts, it looks like this course record is going to happen. We haven't called a race yet, Tony, in the 10 years we've worked this, where we have 2 course records on the same day. To see it on a 58-degree morning with the biggest race in history in this event's field, 30,000 runners, that is something that is both rare to see 2 course records, and then also awesome to see the event grow and have the level of runners like Joseph Whelan and Kellen Taylor are now starting to show up, and this race just gets better and better every year.
Well, 2026 is going to be a year to remember, as now in the final stretch, here comes our women's champion, Kellen Taylor. It's from gong to tape.
That's right. A mother of 4, a future firefighter, a many-time American distance legend over the last 20 years of running for her. And there it is, a course record. Kellen Taylor, your 2026 Ascension Seton Austin Marathon Women's Champion in 2:33.31. By 2 minutes, she got this course record.
Yeah, she destroyed that time and did it beautifully. She ramped up. She was a couple of minutes off course record early on, then went under about 2/3 of the way through and just kept turning the screw. She had pace left in her. She's got running left in her. She knows she can go faster than this, much less on a course that's a little bit flatter, that's got more competition, that maybe has a pace setter. I'm telling you, congratulations, Kellen Taylor.
Fantastic. And Kellen Taylor has just earned herself, about a year's worth of Meanwhile beers. And we have Alonzo down there with Meanwhile themselves. They are set up right next to High Five, the Austin Marathon's headquarters. Alonzo?
Alonzo here with Jay Gonzalez of Meanwhile Brewing. Jay, Meanwhile has become such a staple in the city. Why was it important for y'all to be here at the Austin Marathon?
Yeah, absolutely. So we love connecting with the community as much as we possibly can. Austin is such a fit and active city, and this is just a great partnership for us to be able to reach out to everyone that comes out and runs, and over 30,000 people this year, and just super excited to be a part of it and to be able to reach and connect with everyone in this city. So yeah.
So Meanwhile Pilsner is my go-to. Today we have a different beer, the winner of the 2025 Great American Beer Festival. Can you tell me a little bit about the Darling Texas Lager?
Yeah, so Darling Lager is just a really light, easy drinking beer that pairs well with just about any cuisine and any moments, especially like running 26.2 miles or a half marathon or 5K. So just perfect for all and any occasions.
Sounds like something I'd toast to.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Back in college? Amateur.
It's good beer.
Amateurs.
Well, that is something. Meanwhile, is actually helping sponsor the official 2026 Ascension Seton Austin Marathon after party tonight at Mayfair. Based on what I just saw Alonzo do, I do not think Alonzo is going to make it to the after party tonight. That was impressive, but as Tony said under his breath there, what are we, back in college? And I don't think Alonzo did a ton of that, if that's what we're seeing these days out of him.
Here's the finish line, the half marathon streaming across in 2 hours and 36 minutes. Not too many marathoners have come through as of yet. We've had 2 course records. Joey Whelan wins his 3rd title here in Austin in 2:13.18. Officially, a new course record. And Kellen Taylor takes down the old mark from Kelsey Bruce in 2:33.29. 30,000 people, a record number of entrants in this 5K half marathon day of racing. And now here's on our screen the records on the current course since 2018.
And yesterday we did get to sit down with another runner for a local one of the local run clubs, Billy Conti. There's Truett Haynes, unbelievable. 2:37.04 in jeans.
Yep, 6-minute pace, right on the nose.
That is, I mean, that's unbelievable. That is crazy.
And he has got plenty left in him as well. That is one fine athlete.
Truett Haynes, 2:30. I mean, that is as impressive as anything I saw today. We saw 2 course records, and then we saw a guy in jeans run 2:37. I mean, I'm speechless. I don't even know. There's an iPod in his back pocket. He got an American flag bandana. That's the most American thing I've seen in a long time.
Well, finally, showing some effort. That's nice to at least see that it took something out of him.
Yeah, wow, that was something. We're going to turn it over to Drew Butler, who was with Billy Conti yesterday as we wait for second and third place. And there's Dan Churchill there at the finish line with Truett. But, Drew?
I'm here with Billy Conti. Billy, one of the, every city's got running groups and every city's got communities that come out to their marathons. One of the things that makes this Austin Marathon special is groups like the one that you're involved in. So you're involved with Raw Running. Tell us a little bit about what that group is, who they are in the city, and kind of how they get you prepped for race day.
Yeah, so Raw Running, I've been with them about, say, like 8 years, and my upstairs neighbors had introduced me to them. They run on Tuesday nights. It's a group that runs hard, hangs out afterwards. It's a good, close-knit community, and they do a great job just getting everybody ready for the race and pushing hard workouts to really make you ready and prepared. But there's hundreds of running, maybe trillions of running groups in Austin. But at this point, it's always a blast going to Raw, and it's a really nice community there.
Well, nothing wrong with a few Chardonnays after a hard effort. So tomorrow you're doing the half. You said this race kind of snuck up on you. When the going gets tough, what are you going to be thinking about tomorrow? It's a hilly, difficult course. What kind of keeps you going in the tough parts of the race?
Yeah, I remember that this race was coming up about 3 weeks ago, and started doing my first long runs maybe 2 weeks ago. I got 1 8-mile run in, and so I think we'll see how it goes tomorrow. But I'll be pushing to the finish, and we've got our little after party, and should be a blast. We've got cheer stations along the route. Should be a lot of fun.
For sure. So if you have one thing you look forward to after the race, is it a beer? Is it a taco? Like one thing that you're looking forward to, you're like, that's my reward after the race.
Beer and taco pretty much sums it up. Maybe a beer during the race. We've got some cheer stations. I know accidentally you can think you're drinking some water and it turns out to be an IPA. I know that's happened to a few people, but that'll keep me going.
Hey, this guy's awesome. Beer and tacos. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Pace car.
And I think we have Drew Butler. We're almost ready. We had a mini viral moment with Truett Haynes last year, and we're actually going to get a live interview with him this year, the legend himself in jeans. We're going to send it down to him in just a second whenever we're able to locate him.
The party has already started here in downtown Austin.
You got, 18,000, 20,000 half marathon finishers all. We're about 2 hours and 40 minutes into the race. So this is when everybody is really, the masses are finishing and they're all ready for a beer, a Red Bull, a coffee, a donut, whatever they can find and re-energize.
A gas station slushie, as we heard earlier.
Or a gas station slushie, and I think Caleb Hershey may be the most pumped up for that gas station slushie out of anybody here. He's probably already had a 7-Eleven.
The iconic state capitol is a backdrop that has finished one of the great finishing shots in all of running.
And we're going to take it to a quick commercial break with PNC.
Sarah Benzino, Brandon Coley, Jablonski Auto Body, LLC.
Yeah! Woo!
What'd she call Harper? Oh, you mean Jablonski Auto Body, LLC.
We actually sold the Twins naming rights.
You know, like stadiums do. Kids are so expensive these days. Here he comes.
Oasis Breeze Tan and Spa.
If you need a tan, I'm your man.
Could do business with you.
Or we can look at some investment options for you.
Works for us.
The right money moves aren't as absurd as you think.
A beautiful shot of the meanwhile beer garden, and everyone is partying here in Austin, Texas after they run their 5K, their half marathon, or their full marathon. We've already seen 2 course records. We saw a 2:37 marathon in jeans. We saw a crazy, impressive performance out of Alicia Barno, not letting it really affect him too much, and staying within a minute of Joey after that mishap. Kellen Taylor, we've had all kinds of fun this morning as 30,000 runners take to the streets of the 2026 Ascension Seton Austin Marathon. We're going to send it really quickly. Our sponsor is Ascension Seton. We are going to really quickly run a commercial, and then we're going to track Sarah Jackson as she crosses. I believe she's in second right now.
Your health tomorrow depends on the care you choose today. At Ascension, Texas, our Seton, Providence, and Dell Children's Ministries deliver advanced, compassionate care from hospitals and clinics right in your backyard. We're proud to sponsor the 35th year of the Austin Marathon and support Austin staying healthy and active. Ascension Seton, caring for Texas families for over 120 years.
And we are back, and I believe we're going to get a shot of Sarah Jackson here crossing the finish line, who was in second place. In just a moment, we will see Sarah crossing the finish line there.
Right behind the gentleman in the white hat. If indeed, no, that's not her either, but
she'll be rounding the corner here in just a moment. 2 hours and 43 minutes on the clock.
Now, realize that this race was won in 2 hours and 44 minutes and 17 seconds, or 2:41:17 last year by Janet Rono, who did not get a visa to defend her title, but we get blinded a little bit by the 2:33 of Kellen Taylor, the course record, but Sarah Jackson's running a very strong performance in second.
She is. I got to chat with Sarah a little bit yesterday. I've known her dad for 20 years. He was a cross-country coach at Round Rock High School, Coach Carl Stone. He was a multiple-time USA steeplechase finalist. Ran at Tulsa, was really excellent. Andy Jackson had a number of excellent runners over the years, so he is very pumped that his daughter is running so strongly and is going to be second here today in Austin, barring anything unforeseen.
She won the race back in 2020 in 2:55, so she's definitely running faster than that today.
Yep, and you see all these half marathon finishers, and we'll send it down to Alonzo in just a moment. We're going to try to see if we can catch Sarah Jackson, the local Austinite, finishing up. All right, we are going to send it down to Drew Butler, who is with Truett Haynes, the most American jean-wearing runner that we have in the race today. Drew?
All right, I'm with Truett Haynes. Not only did you run a marathon today in jeans, but you ran pretty damn fast. How'd you come up with it? Give me the origin behind, the method to the madness.
I don't know what to do with my hands. Just kidding, Ricky Bobby. So honestly, I just did it as a joke to begin with, but then the perfect jean, the jeans that I run in, we came up with the idea that, since it was getting so much attention, we should use it for good. And then so they donate 10% of sales to the Miracle Foundation, which is an Austin charity organization, to their foundation to help kids find a loving family. And then so we've raised $40,000 in the last year. And, it's just a little bit of added pain and uncomfortability. There's an argument to be said there for running in jeans, but as long as I'm doing it for a good cause, I couldn't care less. It's for a greater purpose, and that's what today was all about.
Well, given the viral nature of what you do, I'm sure you have opportunities to go to all sorts of races and all sorts of events. How do you choose to do it here at the Austin Marathon?
Well, the Austin Marathon is very tough. It's like the hills, the wind. It's not a PR-friendly course, is what people say. But running a marathon is just about testing yourself. And that's what today was. It was a great test. It's everything you could ask for in a marathon. And I found out today that in order to qualify for the trials, I got to get a lot faster. So, you know, it's a great lesson, and I'm happy to learn it over and over again, especially here in Austin with all these great people.
Well, very impressive effort, awesome cause, and congrats on a great run.
Thank you very much. And just to everyone out there that's chasing their dreams, don't give up. You're going to have setbacks. Today was tough. I got 22 minutes to cut off in order to qualify for the trials. As long as you keep showing up and you don't get discouraged and you keep fighting and having that passion every single day, you're going to get better. And that's what setting goals is all about. If it was easy, everyone would do it. This isn't easy, but I love it and I love the journey. And remember, guys, it's just pain.
You heard it here. Just pain.
Let's go.
Truan's got it. He's got it. Set those goals and shoot as high as you want.
And we're going to send it down to Alonzo, who is with Good Good. They make the best peanut butter and jellies. Alonzo?
Alonzo here with Laura Larson of Good Good. Laura, runners are always looking for ways to fuel. Can you tell me a little bit about what Good Good does to really enhance that fueling process?
Yeah, so we make sure all of our products have no added sugar, so you don't have to worry diet-wise about, you know, your routines. The macros are really great. Jams have 5 calories versus a typical 50-calorie jam. We have really great peanut butter with added fiber because, as we know, too much protein and no fiber is not a good thing. So, well-rounded food that we have.
Would you say it's a before snack, after snack, during snack?
I think that's the best part of Good Good is you can really just fuel throughout your day. You can start your morning toast. You can have a afternoon quinoa bowl. You can have your protein balls, and then at night you can on top of your ice cream spread some chocolate hazelnut.
Chocolate hazelnut.
Yes. Yeah.
You mind if I take a try?
I do not mind.
All
Go
right.
ahead. Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Famous chocolate spread, and really what it's great about it is that instead of having 21 grams of added sugar, it's only 3 grams of natural sugar from the chocolate inside of it.
I'm gonna give it a try. That's amazing. Hot dog. Try their hazelnut spread. It is incredible. Thank you so much.
And we have Kellen Taylor live with Drew Butler, our new course record holder and your 2026 Ascension Seton Austin Marathon champion. Drew?
All right, I'm here with women's marathon winner Kellen Taylor. Kellen, you've been at the top of your game for a long time. You've been racing at a high level for a long time. Tell me about how you got to Austin today. How'd you pick this marathon? And then how'd you deliver such a great performance?
So Austin kind of came as a late addition to my season. I decided, I think last month, that this is something that I wanted to do, and just due to the nature of the course and how hilly it is, kind of suited well for a marathon that I'm going to do in a few weeks. So the idea was to come out here, use it kind of as a training run, hopefully have a good effort, hopefully do well enough to win, and just have, a good time.
So you're based in Flagstaff, Arizona, kind of one of the running meccas of really the country and the world. What has your impression of Austin been? It's a pretty cool event.
Oh, no, it's super cool. I don't remember exactly what street it was on, but it felt like it was just blocks and blocks of crowd just cheering. And it kind of made me think of New York, which, it seems kind of crazy because New York is such a huge city. Also with a great running culture, but it reminded me pretty vividly of running like the New York City Marathon and coming off of the bridges and just being bombarded with cheering. So it was really a neat experience.
So how do you balance, obviously you've got a lot of experience and you've got an upcoming race that you're using this to prep for, but how do you balance not letting all that energy that you're getting from the crowd take away from the training run that you're ultimately trying to accomplish?
It is hard, and admittedly I'm not great at it. I think that my effort ended up being a little bit faster than what I was supposed to do. Might get in trouble for that later by my coach, but I think that I felt fine today, didn't feel like I overextended myself, and I think that's really the biggest thing, and I'll be ready to go here in a few weeks.
So what's one thing you're going to do now that you're done? You've had 90,000 interviews. Now that you're done, how do you kind of celebrate a good effort?
That's a good question. I'll probably go back to my hotel room and just lay in bed. which is not that exciting. But do that for a little bit and then probably have some pizza or something good to eat and, just relax a little bit.
Well, congratulations on a fantastic effort. Kellen Taylor, women's marathon winner.
Love that under orders from Coach Bruce not to go too fast. And, she got carried away a little bit. Good for her, 2:33.
Well, it's a good thing she got carried away a little bit because it gave her a course record, which is that is something you don't get to do very often, especially at the top of the sport in big races. So I think getting carried away a little bit is almost certainly well worth it for her.
No, and she did not look overextended at all at the finish line.
No, she didn't. But we do have Drew with Sarah Jackson, our second place in the 2026 Ascension Seton Austin Marathon. Drew?
All right, second place today, Sarah Jackson. You seem relatively spry for having just run a marathon. How did it feel out there?
There are challenging parts for sure. I think the hills got me more, there's a little bit of heat in your face, sun in your face. So the back half was more challenging than I expected, but it's always a good time out there. So I had fun.
So when you're dealing with some of those challenges in the race, you've got some experience with that course. How much do you lean on that to kind of get you through when the going gets tough?
I think about, the mile I'm in, but then also if it's a hard mile, think about okay, I have a straightaway coming up that's a little bit downhill. So knowing the course definitely helps know what's coming and kind of how to pace myself.
So what do you have to look forward to in the context of your season? A lot of people use this as kind of a launch point for their calendar year of racing. What do you have on the docket coming up?
Just a lot of local races. I'll probably go for Captain K, work on my speed a little bit, and then come fall, try to go for the OTQ at maybe CIM or another kind of faster course.
Well, fantastic effort today. Second place. Well done.
Thank you so much.
2:53 there on the clock. We are, it's a beautiful morning to run. We did see third place we did get a little glimpse of it. It was Joy Jiang. We did hear from her earlier today. And
2 hours 50 and 23 for her.
Yeah, on top of all the coursework and being in medical school and everything like that, it's a pretty good result out of somebody who's working 100 hours a week.
Very impressive. Well, that's one of the things that running gives you. We see this in high schools all the time, is that many times the highest GPA in the whole school or the cross country and track team, because they're very good with time management. They know how to budget their time and know how to take their energy and extend it over a racing distance. And it has application in everyday life, including in your schoolwork.
It does. And we actually have Drew Butler, who is live with Joy, and we're going to send it down to him in just a minute.
As we see Joy cross the finish line. A version of Joy.
A version of Joy across the finish line. Drew, send it down to you, buddy.
All right, I'm with third place finisher Joy Jiang. Joy, I was just talking to you a little bit. You're almost a Renaissance woman. You're perhaps the most interesting person I've talked to in a while. Give me a little bit of, you finished third in the race today, which is awesome, but you're involved in so many things. Tell people a little bit about yourself.
Sure. My name is Joy. I'm a current 7th year MD PhD student at the Icahn School of Medicine in Mount Sinai in New York City. I just finished my PhD in Artificial Intelligence and Emerging Technologies last year, and I have one more year of medical school left. Outside of medical school, I'm currently training with Central Park Track Club with amazing coaches, Coach Devin Martin as well as Coach Roberta Groner. I think they've really helped elevate my game in the marathon.
So you've got a lot of different disciplines in your life, and one of the things people constantly say about distance running is that it requires that discipline, that day-to-day endeavor. How does your running help fuel all of your other things that you do in your life?
Absolutely. I mean, I think running is just one of the non-negotiables in my life, actually. I feel like the day's not complete without a run, and I think it's just the perfect stress relief, actually. So whether it's coming back home after a really late shift at 11 p.m. or having to wake up a little early at 4 a.m. to go for the run, I feel that running is super important to maintain in my life. It helps give me a lot of balance and perspective and gets my head out of the weeds, really, especially when things are going tough in the hospital.
So one of the things that I hope the people are getting at home, and I've certainly gotten from you, is just this positivity. Your first name is really kind of what you radiate, joy. Within that, like, did you get to experience that positivity and that energy while you were out there today? It's such a great day and crowd.
Oh, 100%. I mean, the crowd support was just incredible. I don't think I could have done it without them. I mean, it was, I would say it's my second time in Austin, and I really did not know much about the city. And so to see all the people who came out was super inspiring, and it helped me so much on the course.
Joy, really fantastic effort today, third place, and pleasure to meet you.
Thank you so much.
We've seen this with any number of the interviews that Drew's done, the effects that running has on one's life. And it's nothing but positive. It's from a competitive standpoint, from a balance standpoint. It's a vessel that can hold your joy, your grief, everything. In times of trouble, people say, I need to go for a run, because that's where you can place everything you've got. And it's a vessel that's large enough to hold what you have and more.
It is, and in 2026, we have, obviously 30,000 people here going through their own journeys. The full marathon is going to have over 9,400 people, which is 2,000 more than in 2025. The half is going to have 17,400, which is 4,400 more than in 2025. And the 5K, obviously, we talked about it earlier, it was capped at 3,300, which is 300 more than in 2025. The whole race has more than 30,000 people with their own personal journeys, their own personal demons, their own things that they're celebrating. And, running is the one thing that really connects everybody out here this morning. So whether you're Troy Jiang, whether you're Kellen Taylor, whether you're Joey Whelan, or whether you're Carlos Jaramillo or Daniel Duffy, just trying to get through the race a little bit at a time here, it is a really symbolic and perfect moment that you can tie everything together, and everyone has one unified bond this morning as you see the state capital of Texas over just a 60-degree perfect morning for spectating, for running, for all of it. It's been a really treat to watch the races play out all morning long.
And when you see people cross that finish line, you can't tell the Republican from the Democrat, and you can't tell the Jew from the Gentile, and you can't tell the rich guy from the poor guy.
You can't.
And these particular times in which we live, that's a pretty important unifying factor.
It is. It doesn't matter, what your background is, what your religion is, what your race is. When you're out there on the course, all that matters is one step in front of another. And
just a bunch of runners.
Exactly.
Yeah, it connects us with something primal, something which we use to basically separate ourselves as a species. Our ability to run distance is what brought us to the forefront of all species, because we could sweat and cool while we ran, where other animals that were hunting had to stop and pant. That was what gave us our advantage in survival. And look at the look on the face. A lot of times it's people from the sideline watching somebody, and the look on their face, and they're saying, I want that feeling. Well, nobody can take that feeling and put it in a box and put a bow around it and give it to you. You got to go out and earn it. But it's that's the point. The investment is what makes the payoff worthwhile. Yeah, look at the face. Every face you see, there's something about, I chose to do something hard, and it actually hurt, but I'm so proud to have done it.
And you see there, right at the 3-hour mark, this is a very, for many people, it seems like a number, but for some people and many people, it is a huge barrier. And a lot of the people here, as you saw right at the 3-hour mark, we have a number of people that are pacers, including Patrick Hall, who we got to sit down with yesterday. They give up their entire Sunday, and when they do that, they are helping everyone else achieve their goals. And so we did get to sit down with Patrick Hall and hear why he paces, what he's out here for. He's part of the 340 group, but you'll see these 3 hours, 3:05, 3:10, 3:15, 3:25. It's a whole team of pacers. And so we're going to send it down to Drew and Patrick Hall.
I am here with Patrick Hall. Patrick is really an unsung hero at the Austin Marathon this weekend. You are one of our pacers. So to pace a marathon means you've got to have some serious running experience over the years. Give us a little bit of your background in the sport and how that led you to really want to kind of do a selfless act tomorrow and help some folks, maybe get a time and help them be consistent in doing so.
Well, sure. Well, thanks, first of all, for having us here, the Pace Group. So I've been running for about 30 years. most of it are all based in Austin and enjoy running marathons and have been pacing for a while, but a really elite group of pacers, I would call it, that have been doing it for a while. And our job is very simple, it's to have fun. My background is running, so I love to run. I love to run with people and to have fun with people, and that's what we try and do, is make it fun out there. So yeah, pretty simple. If you run, you can come and run with us. And from my perspective, if you've got some marathons on your belt, it's just a fun day to go out there. I don't think we think of it as a sacrifice. I think we think of it as a privilege.
Right. I mean, that's awesome perspective. I think one thing that this race in particular, you go to marathons across the country, Austin's a fun city. This is a fun marathon. Like, everything about tomorrow is, young people would say it's a vibe, right? Tell us what makes this race in particular so much fun.
Well, they have done such a great job the last few years. The energy with the different events that are coming out, the half marathon, the full marathon, which makes it really full field, the energy at the start, the fact that it is Austin, and we get, actually, as one of the things that basically we're doing a tour in a way for a lot of the out-of-towners. Funny enough, people in town that aren't quite sure about different things. So we have really good crowd support. It's really grown the last few years. Going to the east side some years back was a really good move. There's a lot of fun back there. There's beer. It's being given out, as you can imagine. But yeah, it's. I think we really epitomize and we try to uphold what Austin has become. It's the live music capital, but it's really cool, no matter what age you are or who you are. And we get to see all those different neighborhoods and all the different people running through the neighborhoods. And to provide that to a group and make sure that people are having fun and thinking about more than just, can I put one more foot forward?
Right.
And, part of the fun thing about giving that tour, if you will, is you get to talk about the different characteristics of the neighborhoods and why they're vibrant for this reason, and point out one of those cool Austin murals.
Right.
Yeah, it's fun.
So, a lot of fun, but you're going to have someone inevitably tomorrow who needs a word of encouragement. What's if you had it in a concise way, what's your go-to? Someone's struggling to stay in the pace, what do you tell them to keep them going?
I've paced this a few times, and so you can see when people are starting to have that struggle. And there's the typical ones, the mantras of hang in there, or let me do some work for you, or you sort of do the one more step. You give them little mile markers or posts. That's what I found works really well. It's okay, here's what's coming up next, and here's what we're going to focus on, or do something. I don't have a very specific one that I use. I just kind of look around and see who's running with me and what can I say to them that might be a helpful thing for them.
My college coach used to always say, shut your brain off. He had this big Boston accent. He said, shut your brain off. And that may be a good mantra tomorrow. Patrick, I'll appreciate you doing what you're doing tomorrow, and all the best on the course.
Thanks so much for having us, and appreciate being out here with the Austin Marathon too.
Cheers. Yeah.
I'm here with Carlos Jaramillo. Carlos, you are a stalwart of the Austin running community. And nationwide, people talk about the Austin community, what it means. Can you give the viewers at home kind of your take on what the Austin running community is like?
Well, I think Austin really embraces the whole fitness scene, or maybe being the best version of yourself. I think more than any other city, really. I've kind of lived all around the country, and when you come here, you really see people that, like I said earlier, want you to be the best version of yourself. This city really embraces not just running, cycling, whether you're lifting, whether you're doing yoga. It really gets excited about it in a way that I don't think other cities do. I think it's kind of the youthful energy the city has. Maybe it's a tech scene, maybe it's the music all comes together, but I really haven't seen a city embrace fitness the way Austin has. And it's really exemplified in the marathon here. I mean, you really have a type of support that you don't see anywhere else.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, the live music, the tech scene, and honestly, one of my favorite things is the 10-mile trail. 10-mile trail, no pavement, just...
Town Lake, or Lady Bird Lake, it encourages you to go out and walk it, or ride it, or run it. But the fact that it's downtown, it's just right there, I think it really drives home the point that it makes you move. It makes you want to move your body. So I think that's what kind of drives the enthusiasm in the city.
So I know you're here running tomorrow for a special reason. Can you give me little details on that?
Yeah, the first marathon I ever ran was in memorandum of a friend of mine that passed away. And it was in 2016, the 25th anniversary. So it'll be the 10-year anniversary this year of it'll be the 35th anniversary of the Austin Marathon that I'm running this year. And it'll once again be in memorandum of my friend that passed away back in 2005. So it'll be really special. I'm gonna try and race it, but for now it'll be just more about remembering him and his memory. And going back to that very first race I ran here, and it was Austin Marathon.
Yeah. So you run this race many times before. Can you give us some little details about just the course and the cheer station, and give us a little
so
energy.
Myself being from Raw Running, we do have our cheer station at mile 11, I believe. It's one big party back to celebrating the runners the way Austin does. However, it's two different races. It starts going down Congress and First, obviously, so you get both the south parts of the city and then the west part of the city. When you get to the east side, it becomes a completely different race. It really, from the elevation to the type of crowd support, it's just a different race. And when it finally kind of drive it home in Cesar Chavez, it kind of all comes together. But I do tell everyone, it really is two different races. The first half and second half are very different, not just elevation-wise, but even the streets, the neighborhoods. But it's cool. It kind of brings the whole city together. So in terms of strategy, I believe I've heard it called the toughest marathon in Texas, because compared to Houston, which is flat, or San Antonio, which has its hills, it really doesn't compare to Austin's kind of rolling hills, and that mile 12 hill that we have, and the mile 25 hill. I think it's really unique, but hard, extremely hard.
Well, Carlos, I know and a lot of people will be rooting for you. I know the Raw Running Station will be rooting for you. So good luck tomorrow.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I lost the bet.
Every kick to the finish line, nearly every high.
What'd she call Harper?
Oh, you mean Jablonski Auto Body LLC.
We actually sold the twins naming rights.
You know, like stadiums do. Kids are so expensive these days. Here he comes.
Oasis, Breeze, Tan, and Spa.
If you need a tan, I'm your man.
Could do business with you.
Or we can look at some investment options for you.
Works for us.
The right money moves aren't as absurd as you think.
An absolutely stunning morning here at the 2026 Ascension Seton Austin Marathon, as you get to see the beautiful view of Congress Avenue and all these runners finishing their half, full, or 5Ks.
Here's a full lineup of our champions today. Course records on both marathons, as Kellen Taylor, 2:33:29, and Joey Whelan, 2:13.18, took advantage of the great conditions and took solo runs. Kellen Taylor the entire way. Joey Whelan, second half, all by his lonesome with Alicia Barno trying like mad to close him down, but never could find a final gear. Half marathon Griffin Neal took it wire to wire, but made a little bit of a U-turn to cost him about 30 seconds in his final time. And Mina Lennis on the women's side, just under 1 hour and 20 minutes.
And Caleb Hershey there in third place is at a 7-Eleven right now, grabbing a gas station slushie, and David Fuentes is rushing back home for a nap with his 2 children. So quite a lot of personality there in the men's half marathon today as well.
Oh, some new faces and some old faces as this event hits its 35th anniversary with a record 30,000 entrants across the 5K. A storm over streets closed. When you're a kid, what do they tell you to do? Don't talk to strangers and don't play in the streets. What do you do in a marathon? You go talk to strangers and you go play in the streets and they give you water along the way.
And there you have right there a beautiful shot of the Moody Center where the San Antonio Spurs are coming to town this week to play both the Phoenix Suns and the Sacramento Kings. It's something they've been doing the last couple of years as the San Antonio Spurs have slowly moved into the Austin market to get our city of Austin, a taste of what the Spurs are, that world-class organization. The sponsors of the Spurs International Half just a couple of weeks ago, and Tony's been around the block. He's seen it all. It's pretty cool when an NBA team is sponsoring races and getting in and promoting fitness and wellness in major metropolitan areas.
Years ago, the Celtics had a 5K race in Boston in March, and Larry Bird ran it one year. And it was a 6'9" guy, of course, the 6'9" guy. And it was so cold. It was brutally cold. I think Tom Hunt from San Diego came in and ran in like 23 minutes or 22 high. I mean, it was back in those days, everyone was running fast. But it was the biggest race in Boston back then. It was like 9,000 or 10,000 people. And then you go to the Celtics game afterwards. It's a great combination.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we're going to try to find Alonzo, who is down there in the Meanwhile Beer Garden. And we're going to locate him shortly here, and he's going to be ready to turn up the party. As last time we saw Alonzo, he was chugging a beer, and then he was eating some hazelnut spread from Good Good.
One of the best things I've seen so far is look how healthy all the people crossing the line are. It's not the kind of day where the medical team is going to be challenged, one hopes, because on a warm day, that's where you can get into danger. But on a day when it's just 62 degrees, started at 55 or so, it's an excellent day to run, and people are not going to get put into harm's way. And so that's a beautiful thing.
Yep, as you see another beautiful shot here. Downtown Austin, Texas. You see the Independent Tower there in the foreground, the 6G building over there on the right side, the little sail-looking building, which was going to be Google's building. It's not anymore. And then you have the Frost Bank Tower, and we're going to send it down to Alonzo, who is, I guess, on his 3rd or 4th beer of the day. Alonzo.
Alonzo here at the line. We're having a good time at the finish shoot.
Is this the message we want to be sending?
Meanwhile is the official beer partner of the 2026 Ascension Seton Austin Marathon, and Alonzo is making sure that he uses every little bit of that Meanwhile that he has out there.
Meanwhile, be responsible.
That is right. Be responsible, especially after a marathon. You're depleted of a lot of nutrients and vitamins, and so enjoy your beer too, but obviously you can have some more fun tonight after you get rehydrated.
big storm yesterday blew through Austin, and it would have been a brutal day to run this thing. Or fun in some odd way. It's actually, I don't mind running. When I'm out running and it starts to rain, that's fine. I hate standing in the rain waiting to run.
Yeah, 30,000 runners, which is a lot more than this course has ever had before, would have ended up with a lot of people standing in the rain. So
fortunately, around 5:30 last night, you can start seeing slivers of blue cutting through that deep overcast, and then it's a beautiful day this morning for the competition.
It is a perfect morning out there. 3:16 on the clock, 2 course records. Some of America's finest marathoners out here this morning. Truett Haynes, 2:37 in jeans, which was truly an incredible performance.
Whose goal is to make the qualifying time. The B standard for the Olympic trials is 2:16. They have not set the A standard yet. That'll be done with the host organizing committee down the line. But if you get a 2:16 time in the marathon, which is 2 minutes faster than it was last time, you can get into the trials, but you have to pay your own way. If you hit the A standard, they'll pay for you to come to town.
He will probably need running shorts for his actual trials attempt. I'm not so sure the jeans are.
But it's a wonderful cause. It's not just some whim. It's to raise money for a very good cause, and he's raised, they said, over $40,000. So many congratulations. And we talk about the economic impact, but the charity impact at races like the Ascension Seton Austin Marathon and Half Marathon, and all the major marathons around the country, they raise over $1 billion with the B, $1 billion for charities across the spectrum. Running is one of the, if not the greatest, drivers of charitable contributions of any industry in the country.
It is, and the official race charity today of the Ascension Seton Austin Marathon is actually Dell Children's Ascension. So we're going to be donating an absolute ton of money there. Already this year, the Austin Marathon is going to donate $30,000 to the Paramount Theater as well. And so the Paramount Theater is right there at the finish, so $30,000 is coming the Paramount's way, and that's going to come straight out of the team at High Five and their donation. There are a number of important charities that we're also supporting today, including Dell Children's, the Paramount Theater, Sam's Art Adventure Camp, Upbring, Cure Duchesne, Marathon Kids, Autism Society, Generation Serve, the Trail Conservancy, SIVA Charities, Health Alliance for Austin Musicians, I Am Redemption, ARF. There's just a ton of charities going on. In the last few years, the Moody Foundation alone has, this is the 10th year of the Austin Gives Miles campaign. In the last 10 years, they've donated $5.5 million. Last year was $629,000. I imagine as the race increases by, 8,000 people, that charitable number is going to probably be well over $1 million when it's all said and done. Marathon, going to wrap it up down.
All right, unfortunately, the end is nigh. 35th Austin Marathon. I'm with Megan Frosso from High Five Events. Megan, for those that don't know, what is High Five Events and how are you guys involved with the marathon?
So we own and produce the marathon and we make it happen today.
So you were telling me about kind of the message that you've been really trying to reiterate to folks this week about people's journey to get to the finish line that we're oh so close to. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, so we know everyone started at that start line this morning. Over 30,000 registered participants for the 35th anniversary, and we know each person that was on the start line with us, for whether you're running the full, the half, or the 5K, each of them had a unique journey to get there, and it was going to be special to watch them finish at this finish line where we're at right here today, and then just be able to make their runner dreams come true and collect that finisher belt buckle finisher medal.
Yeah, it's such a cool event. Like, I can't imagine a better day for the 35th edition of this thing. What are some of the plans? Like, I know you probably may not have even gotten there yet because you got to get through today, but what are some of the plans that you guys have to continue to take this event that's growing and growing and growing and make it better in the future?
Oh, every year you just have to keep leveling up, and it's always just continue to see how to help the participant experience be even better, and we'll just have fun things that you'll have to register for 2027 for and make it happen. But we will have best pricing after this, so if you cross and think you can't run one again, by tomorrow you'll sign up.
I love it. We will see you in 2027. Sound good?
Absolutely. 2027. Let's do it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Drew.
It's great to hear from Meg Frosto. She's an integral part of the event with the whole team. The whole team at High Five Events is a world-class event. You won't every little detail from finishers' metal belt buckles to making sure we have a beer sponsor, to the course, to all the charitable giving, all the cheer stations, all the aid stations, the pacers. I mean, this thing is as good as any marathon in the world.
Well, it was a nice handoff from John Conley to the High Five folks. I mean, it was seamless in many ways. As John ran this thing for years and years, I used to see John because he came from Honolulu. We see him every year at the Honolulu Marathon, and he wanted to make sure that there was a good steward, and he certainly found a great group.
Yes, he did. And Jack Murray, Stacy Keese, and Dan Carroll all do, they don't sleep much for the 2 months leading up to this, but they all do this so 30,000 people can achieve their wildest dreams.
And there's a great sharing of information from the organizers of all the major marathons. Hugh Brasher from the London Marathon is here. Mary Wittenberg, former head of the New York Roadrunners, now with Let's Do It, is here in town as well. So some of the best-known names in the sport from organizational standpoint are here to contribute to look at what they can learn and what they can contribute to the event as well.
And we have, we are done hanging out with Drew for the day, but we got one more moment with Alonso Rodriguez, our spirited sideline reporter, and then Tony and I will wrap this thing up. Alonso.
Alonso here for one final farewell. 30,000 runners, the energy of a band, and all the best brands in Austin, Texas. I bid you adieu.
Alonso's performance may be better than anyone else's performance.
He got his money's worth today.
He did. Fantastic. And just a couple seconds here, Tony and I are going to wrap this show up as we kind of see everybody come across the finish line here.
Well, it was a great day of racing. A perfect day to go 26.2, 3.1, or 13.1. And everyone seems to be in fine form. The city shined. It presented itself beautifully. And we have course records on the men's side. Joey Whalen, Kellen Taylor took down the women's course record as well. So a special day all around for the Ascension Seat in Austin Marathon 2026. As always, Paris, lovely working with you.
It was.
Yep. And here's to take a look at one more look at what happened on today's day. A little overcast at the start, and we had four men take it out. David Fuentes and Griffin Neal in the half marathon, with leading Alicia Barno and Joey Whelan in the marathon. Kellen Taylor basically took that women's race out by herself. Griffin Neal won the half marathon. Alicia Barno he followed Griffin Neal for a while incorrectly and ended up behind Joey Whelan and paid for it at the end. As Joey, once he took the lead, would not relinquish it and really never showed any weakness whatsoever as he maintained all the way to the finish line. It went in 2:13 and change to set a new course record. As his decision really to quit his job after last year's Austin Marathon really was validated with his performance today, as he took down that course record after finishing second at the California International Marathon in Sacramento last December.
Yeah, and look, Tony, we've called this race now for a decade,
Mm-hmm.
and to see two course records fall on the same day by Kellen Taylor and Joey Whelan was probably the highlight of the last 10 years. I mean, it's not very often you get to see a course record. Second, to see it both on the men's side and the women's side was a really, truly impressive performance from both.
What was amazing is that Kellen Taylor basically said, I think I ran a little bit too hard because my coach told me not to do it because this was supposed to be sort of a tune-up run for a race in a couple of weeks, and it turns out she felt so good on a challenging course that she went from a 2:37 early pace down to a 2:33, which got her to the course record. But she'll look back at this and realize have the course record in an event like the Austin Marathon now in its 35th year, that means something. And she's rightfully proud to have accomplished that goal today.
Yeah, and I think going back to even Joey Whalen, I think when you look at it, now obviously it was amazing. He did the ethical right thing to do, great sportsmanship by pointing out to Griffin that he needed to make the turn and miss the turn. And I think it's a great lesson we can all take home and realize that sometimes, any sport you're involved in, whatever it is, sometimes doing the right thing is really the impressive thing.
I think runners are like that. I think, first of all, you're running against yourself and your own limitations more than against other people. And so you want to have them give their best performance. So if you're going to beat someone, you want to beat them at their best. And I think Joey had a tremendous confidence coming off 2 previous victories and then an iron deficiency last year, which had really reduced his conditioning. But then he made the decision to really go full-time at running, quit his job, went over 100 miles per week in training, and it really validated that decision as he looked solid from start to finish here in Austin today.
He did, and on the half marathon side, obviously we saw Mina Glenesk break 80 minutes. She got a victory on that side. Griffin, Neal, we just briefly talked about. He also ran 66 minutes and would have ran 65 or 64 high, but he ran excellent as well today, and obviously always an honor to be on air with you today.
I think the words goes forward that Austin's a marathon worth looking into. And as time goes on, 35th anniversary, record numbers continue to grow this sport. And now you've got these 2 records, and people are going to say, maybe I should try this event, especially if you're a competitor, not somebody looking for a time trial where you get behind pacers. This is a racer's course. It's like Boston. It's like New York City. And that's pretty good company to be in.
It is, and I think you even heard from Kellen Taylor herself. There were parts of this race where she felt like she was in one of the world marathon majors where she had been competing in for the last 20 years. And so from the highest praise of Kellen Taylor, who's one of the most elite athletes we have in the marathons world, to say that about Austin tells everybody at home that if you're thinking about signing up for your next 5K half or full, this is a place you want to do it.
Good town. Good fun. See you next year.
Fantastic. And thank you for everybody joining at home, watching the 2026 Ascension Seton Austin Marathon. We appreciate all the sponsors, Good, Meanwhile, PNC, Ascension Seton, all the charities involved, all the cheer stations, all the running clubs. For now, until next year, Tony and I will be watching from home the rest of the day. And I don't know if you have any parting words, Tony.
So long.
James. Taylor Drake, James Swanson, Usum Lee, Benjamin McConnell from Charlotte, North Carolina, Emily Coffey, Jake Waltz, and Justin Air.
Jonathan Murphy out of Sunset Valley, Matt Tegerman, Jeffrey Chuizenga, Lee Baldwin coming across, ladies and gentlemen. I've got North Coach and Drew Hoffman, Bryce Whitmer, Carson Klein, Brooks Berry out of Georgetown getting it done today. Spencer Bullock and Jonathan Sparling, August Murbach, Damian Kranis, Stephanie Bologna,
Ian Richardson, Bryce Wursler, Michael Roberts, Carter Irwin, Peter Helf, Adam Glenn, Michael Hildner, Miguel Soto, Jackson Bradley, Marco Requejo, Marco Ramirez, Kyle Carpenter, Thomas Brevick, Ricky Gomez, and Dylan Torres.
Aaron Smigelski coming across that finish line. Chase Sanford, Kendall Ramby, Hunter K, Philman Aldamia, Sean Bawanian, Sydney Lambert. Excellent job. Cindy, what is this, the 330? 330 pace group is in. Ted Davison, David Orozco, Ricardo Talbot, Aaron Vargas, Gerardo Avila, Murph Halaz, Janine Diaz, Pedro Briseno, DeMarcus Kukuda, Maxwell Yale, Stephen Diaz. Here comes Dawson Choate from Oklahoma. Felipe Gonzalez from Austin. Travis Smith. Congratulations, Daisy Mashiro. Ulysses Rodriguez. Matthew Folk, come on home. Ryan Fra out of Kansas City. RJ Tahario getting it done today. Matthew Peterson, Clayton Kaminsky, Matt Kay, Ethan Clark, Chris Oberdorfer, Johnny Grimstad, Randy Holtgraff, and Jason Norrell out of Ashland, Oregon. Beck Ramsey, congratulations, Stephanie Yarborough, Emily Fogel, Chase Huntington, Amy Lamb, Daniel Leonard, Albert Cano, Timothy Darcy, Cabby Thacker, Cole Kraus, Gianni Rocco, Vincent Lauder, Elliot Blanford, William Moore, Caleb Schnatz, Luke Keegan, Jack Blower, Cesar Garcia, Ryan Levadier, Brendan Smith, Mike Hessinger, Gabe Mowell, Elizabeth Deller, Caleb Lightfoot, Evan Milberger, Sylvester Sipple, Zach Scholl, Cameron Detweiler, Martin Conrad, Emily Preb, Vanessa Lichtenberg.